Tour supported this one, but also teams from around the region supporting this event too. It's great to see, Brian. And you talked about last year, we had 2 amazing races here. Last year, KKM was able to sweep the year at Sweet Springs between Cale Drake and Cannon McIntosh. We'll see if KKM can keep up that clean streak here at Sweet Springs here tonight to start off Mid-America Midget Week.
Able to go around and get a chat with some of the drivers here, and a lot of drivers coming in trying to get on a little bit of a rebound from BC 39. A couple of drivers riding a huge amount of momentum. One of the drivers that kind of experienced the highs and lows of that is Jacob Boxell, and got upside down. Everything seemed okay, but obviously once they got through the night realized something wasn't right. Took a trip to the hospital, they released him, and for the sake of owner points and everything that was going on and still wanted to make sure he had a place to race, the team swapped him around into the 14K. He's back behind the wheel of his 54, so looking for a good run here tonight.
Yeah, and like you said, Brian, he is one of those that experienced the highs and lows, but mostly lows. You talked about that hospital trip. He didn't leave till 4:30 in the morning after that too, so I imagine he was a little bit tired at BC 39, but you'll hear here in this interview with Genevieve in just a second. Really great to see him back at the racetrack, and it's going to be an interesting week for JB. He's never been to any of these places before, so we talk about first full-time seasons for drivers, how there is challenging parts. I think this could be a real defining part of JB's year here, not only tonight, Sweet Springs, but throughout Mid-America Midget Week.
The good thing, he's had time to rest, so hopefully that gets him back to 100%, top of his game. Let's go to Genevieve Malone standing by with Jacob Boxell.
Jacob Boxell in his first full season with the Four Kings Racing, and now this week's track's all new to you. How do you apply the lessons you've learned in the first part of the season to tracks that you're not as familiar with?
Yeah, we've been to a few tracks already this year that I haven't been to, so it's definitely good to have Matt and KT. They've raced for a long time. They helped me kind of figure out how to read new tracks and everything like this, and it's cool to come back here after working all last year for Four Kings Racing and at least acknowledging the tracks and being able to see how they develop through the night. So at least I'm not coming in here totally blind, and yeah, it's definitely a big shout out to Matt and KT to at least give me a little bit of help on the way.
Four Kings Racing getting their first career win last week with Kevin Thomas Jr. You've been close a few times, but still looking for your first USAC win. How well can 4 races in a week give you ample time with your crew to keep working on it?
Yeah, I felt like we were pretty good through Midget Week, and I mean, this is kind of similar to the same thing here as seat time's pretty good, and racing back to back definitely helps because you do the same thing every night. So yeah, definitely. Hopefully we could do good. We struggled a little bit at BC, but yeah, we're looking to bounce back here for the Midwest America Week, and we'll see what we can do.
Jacob Boxell enduring his first Mid-America Midget Week and looking for his first career win.
See how Jacob does here tonight. Another driver that is in the field, a lot of experience here in both micro and midget racing, and he's got a lot of fond memories of this racetrack. In fact, a video posted earlier today talking to him, and that is Cale Drake from Collinsville, Oklahoma. And this is one of those, and I talk about small car destinations. Over the years, this place has produced a lot of great micro racing, and really more recently, a lot of great midget racing.
Yeah, and I talked about off the top of our pre-race show, Cale Drake was able to win here in the month of May last year on the first of 2 stops the Austin Andrew Drake USAC National Midget Championship made here at Sweet Springs. And even talking to him after the fact on that one, I know that was such a special win for him, and I feel like if he's able to get a win tonight, it will be the same amount of specialness, so to speak, for Cale Drake. I argue, too, it'd be an even bigger deal with this new team, RMS Racing. It'd be his first USAC National win with that group, too, so a lot to play for it, but like you said, Brian, he's got a lot of great experience, a lot of great memories at this racetrack. That always goes a long way.
That always comes into play, especially when you're late in the race and looking at the track going, wait, I've been here before, I know what to do. So Genevieve Malone got a chance to talk to the Okie.
Cale Drake winning here multiple times at Sweet Springs, his second career USAC win here as well. Now, you recently picked up your first win in the RMS car in another series. How well does that attribute to your confidence going in tonight, as well as picking up more chemistry with your team?
Yeah, Sweet Springs has always been one of my favorites, and for some reason I've always gotten around here pretty well. So, you know, getting to race here a couple times earlier this season with the RMS crew helped build our confidence in coming into tonight. And, you know, picking up Janky Bobby to help us on the wrenches this week also gives me a little bit more confidence too. So there's a lot of people that, you know, work super hard at this, and then just, you know, having plenty of laps always helps too. So you really have a good idea of how the track's going to shape up, and gives you a good idea of what you're, you know, running into this weekend.
Going into this race with a different car, how do you utilize your notebook from the past with Lacey and Phil when it comes to setting up this car?
Yeah, like I said, this track always seems to shape up the same. The track crew does a really good job at getting us a consistent surface that always races super well. So it seems that it's pretty much copy and paste most times we come here, other than last year when we had a lot of rain and it was nice and rough. But yeah, the track usually has the same type of surface. So just with my driving style, we can take a lot of the same pieces and put its use on this different car and different package. But yeah, just excited to get back after it.
Cale Drake looking for his first RMS racing win this season. We will be right back from the broadcast.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Every lap, every race, every bit of paint traded for every hard-fought place. Every checkered flag and trophy raised. Every ounce of dirt, sweat, and gears. They're all jammed inside every can of NOS Energy. Go ahead, open up a can.
The new Dirt Draft app, faster, sharper, built to win. New lock windows and predictive contests. More ways to play, more ways to win. Lock in your drivers, watch the action, and become a fantasy champion. Every lap, every restart, every last lap slide job that moves you up the leaderboard. The green flag just dropped on the all-new Dirt Draft. Download it now at dirtdraft.com. Draft your team and get in the race.
Get ready for new Kias with 0% financing at Lou Fuse Kia Evansville. The Ready, Set, Drive sales event is happening now. Get ready for big savings on new K4s, only $169 a month. You're set with Sorrentos, just $279 a month or 0% financing. Drive home Tellurides, now $299 a month or 0%. At Lou Fuse Kia Evansville, home of the 200,000-mile warranty. Lou Fuse, we are family.
Prices keep rising, and fuel economy matters more than ever. Meet Fuel Joules, the only time-release fuel additive on the market. It can increase fuel economy by up to 7% that lasts up to 6,000 miles. It cleans and lubricates while restoring power and performance. Plus, every bottle sold supports the National Breast Cancer Foundation, which is dedicated to supporting women now, like funding life-saving early detection screenings and so much more. Help save money and lives with Fuel Joules. Visit TrueBrandProducts.com to get your bottle today.
Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing. Night number 1 of Mid-America Midget Week and Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 1 at the ready and underway. 31 drivers checking in with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Getting a look at the number 27, Garrett Benson. Benson out of Concordia, Missouri, driven the 360 Civil KNC Drywall. Work Motorsports number 27 here this evening. As we go check it on Dirt Draft Hot Lap session at number 1, the 97. That is Gavin Miller out of Allentown, Pennsylvania. The Sound Gear TRD, Mobile 1, number 97. Field crossing under the checker flag. The 40D of Drake Edwards did have the quickest time here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Now he'll drop to second quick behind the wheel of the great company, Speedway Toyota Spike. Chase McDermott owned at number 40D. Driver in 14, he was the quickest driver on track. Kevin Thomas Jr. to Coleman, Alabama. The Purple Heart Foundation, Metaloid 1, Acros Hill, Stanton Link Chassis, number 14. Kyle Jones was also on track behind the wheel of the Joyner Motorsports, G Hood Construction, Corey's Auto Cores at TJ Ford, Time Performance Lubricants, Rush Race Kit number 27X. He'll be fifth quick with Zach Merritt. Driver the 43M for RKO Management, the Stealth with an S-Slinger, the number 43M of Zach Merritt. That was sixth quick at a 12.466. Quick time on track right now, 11.768 here in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session at number 1. Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2 will begin to file out to the front straightaway. Ethan Mitchell on track at Mooresville, North Carolina. Driver the Radical Print Company, Bunny Built Spike Chassis number 19M. The 11A, the Cooper and Hudson Felker owned Smith Equipment Company. Panel Chipping, Melmark Pipe and Supply, Steve's Guttering number 11A. That is Andrew Felker. Felker out of Carl Junction, Missouri. Shyla Ernst out of Peyton, Colorado, also on track. Driver the Colorado's Mechanical Contractor, Performance Powder Coating, Gam Esslinger, TCR Chassis, number 42. She sits here on the front straightaway. The driver in 4, that's Gail Drake out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. The RMS EnviroFag Guest Performance Rush Race Gear, number 4. The 98 machine. Drivers out of Sheffield, United Kingdom. Driver the J. Davis Scrap Metal Mobile 1 Toyota number 98K. That is Brandon Carr. Brandon Carr, the number 98K. And your winner here 1 year ago in Mid-America Midget Week competition out of Bixby, Oklahoma. Driver the Mobile 1 TRD Curb KKM Curb Agajana number 71K. That is Cannon McIntosh. Driver in 19K on the Speedway, Riley Kreisel out of Warsaw, Missouri. The International Manufacturing Supply, Royal Power Sports, Truman Lake Marine and Power Sports. Ron Coxo, number 19K. 2 trips here last year in the month of May. Nearly went to victory lane. A late race restart, unfortunately. Not playing out to his favor, as he makes his way onto the Speedway. The other 19 on track. That is Aiden Schmidt. Schmidt to the Hopstad, Indiana, the West Side Automation. Advantech Dono Services, Tall Timbers Taxidermy, Spike Chassis number 19X. So just about ready to go green here in Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 2. Again, Ethan Mitchell, Riley Kreisel, Shyla Ernst, Gail Drake, Andrew Felker, Brandon Carr, Aiden Schmidt, and Cannon McIntosh. All on track here for the second of 4 flights of Dirt Draft Hot Laps. Kevin Thomas Jr. remains the quickest driver in Dirt Draft Hot Laps at 11.768. Drake Edwards, 11.845. Gavin Miller, 11.849. Ethan Mitchell, 11.922. And Garrett Benson, an 11.924. Your 5 quickest drivers so far. Cale Drake, Cannon McIntosh, Brandon Carr, Aiden Schmidt, and Andrew Felker make up the top 10. Set number 3 of Dirt Draft Hot Laps is going to make its way out onto the Speedway. Don't forget, you still have time to download the Dirt Draft app. You can play in any of the 3 leagues. And, of course, new and reactivating subscribers get that 25% off gift card to the Hoosier Tire online merchandise store. Driver v. Driver, let's check in with Drake York.
Thank you so much, Brian. Yes, we have driver v. driver matchups here this evening here at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. Cale Drake going up against Jacob Boxell. And reminder, if you want to play against the USAC drivers here this evening at Sweet Springs, you got to play in that Pro Public lobby. So let's start off with Cale Drake's lineup. He's that USAC driver 2 in that aforementioned Pro Public lobby. He has chosen Cannon McIntosh, himself, Riley Kreisel, Brandon Carr, and Ethan Mitchell. At USAC driver 2 in that same lobby is none other than JB, Jacob Boxell. He's chosen himself, Brecken Reese, Kyle Jones, Colin Robinson, and Ethan Mitchell. So, as you said, Brian, a lot of different lobbies to play in, but you want to play in the Pro Public lobby if you want to play with Cale Drake and Jacob Boxell here this evening in Sweet Springs.
Thank you very much. Drivers will begin to fire the 67K. Rolling onto the back straightaway, driver coming to us out of Titusville, Florida. The Precise Tooling Solutions, TRD, Mobile One, Curb Records, KKM, Curb J number 67K. That is Colton Robinson. Robinson in the 67. The 05 behind him out of Belleville, Illinois. Driver the BP Fam GSR EA Stealth Missile Chassis number 05. That is Alex Midkiff. Midkiff in the 05. Driver in 44 onto the front straightaway should be Lance Bennett out of Aurora, Colorado. Driver the Simpson, West Evans, CSI Schoenfeld, Gam Esslinger Spike Chassis number 44. Driver rolling to his inside comes to you out of Phoenix, Arizona. Driver the Sunshield Products, AMA Electrical, Stanton Spike, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports number 19. That is Drew Sherman. Sherman in the number 19. Looking over to the exit of turn number 2, Matt Sherrill out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. Driver the Melton Motorsports, Express Car Wash of Texas, Kaiser, City Vending, Smiley's Racing Products, M1 Fabrication, Bobby Huddleston owned, number 21. The 87 onto the back straightaway out of Ione, California. Driver the NOS Energy Drink, PristineAuction.com, Speedway Spike, Mobile One, number 87. That is Justin Grant. Justin Grant in the number 87. The 44 behind him, that's Brannigan Rourke out of Lincoln, Missouri. Driver the Como Vibe, Steve's Guttering. The Pizza Glen, Coy's Automotive Incorporated, Rourke HVAC at number 44. The 19 AZ on track, making his way through turns 3 and 4 to Gilbert, Arizona. The AME Electrical, Jugo Superfoods, Reinbold Development Incorporated, Stanton Spike, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports number 19 AZ. That is Hayden Reinbold. Hayden Reinbold in the 19 AZ. Hayden Reinbold quickest now, 11.619. Kevin Thomas Jr. second quick. Justin Grant third quick. Colton Robinson, Drake Edwards, your top 5. Gavin Miller, Ethan Mitchell, Garrett Benson, Drew Sherman, and Cale Drake make up the top 10. From the green flag to the checkered flag, keep your energy high with ice-cold NOS Energy. Available now at the NOS Energy Sampling Station, located directly behind the grandstands. With NOS Energy, get after it. Cookout presents always fresh, never frozen burgers, barbecue, and hot dogs, all cooked fresh every day. Get this, over 40 different flavors of shakes, all prepared fresh and made by hand every day. It's all yours. Find a Cookout location near you. Go to cookout.com. Sunoco is the world's largest manufacturer of racing fuels, and they have been the standard of motorsports for over 50 years. Check out SunocoRacefuels.com for more. Final flight of Dirt Draft Hot Laps out to the Speedway, along with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. We'll also have stock non-wing micros, 20 micros checking in for tonight's racing action. Out of Zanesville, Indiana, here on the front straightaway, Jacob Boxell in the middle, and One Performance Products, Acro Seal, Acro Loop, Stanton, Link Chassis number 54. Driver lining up to his inside at a Galloway, Ohio, the JB Audio TRD Mobile One, Curb Records, KKM, Curb Virginia number 67. That is Jacob Denny. Jacob Denny in the 67. The 89s at a Grain Valley, Missouri. Driver the hair designed by Erica. Buddy's Automotive, Stanton Spike number 89. That is Todd McVeigh. McVeigh in the number 89. The 20Q, that is Brecken Reese at a Canyon, Texas. The Sierra Towing and Crushing, Dumas Iron and Metal Speedway Total Link Chassis number 20Q. Getting the push here on the front straightaway, Bradley Cox out of Black Forest, Colorado. The Redline Performance Roofing, Stanton Link Chassis, Dirt Crowd, Insane Graphics number 45. The 4S Machine, Blake Spicer out of Marysville, Kansas. For the Spicer Aircraft, Felker Fontana, Stealth number 4S. See if that car will fire here on the second attempt as he makes his way into turn number 1. The 12W, Caden Warren out of Eaton, Colorado. The Directional Plus, J. Doyle Enterprises, W9 Mopar Spike, Fred's Trucking, number 12W. We'll get the push down the front straightaway. And the 40L, that's Mac Leopard out of Beaver Creek, Ohio. The great company, Joe's Landscaping, Rex Road Racing, Stanton Spike Chassis, number 40L. Hoosier Tires' mission is to be the dominant customer-driven provider of racing tires to teams domestically and internationally. For more information on the tires designed for champions, go online to HoosierTire.com. Whether it's their original store in Warsaw or right in the heart of racing at their new location in Brownsburg, Indiana, Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts has what you're looking for. Shop in person or online 24/7 at Elliott'sCustomTrailers.com. That's Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, where you're always a winner. Whether you're running a go-kart, micro, midget, modified, sprint car, late model, silver crown, or even a tractor, Rod Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field of performing to your maximum potential. Remember, they don't just sell them, they race them. Go to rodsupply.com for more. Parallax Group offers world-class products to the RV industry. Parallax Group delivers high-quality assembly and manufacturing solutions in North America that exceed client expectation, focusing on quality and efficiency to ensure their products lead the industry. Go to parallaxgroupinc.com for more. Dirt Draft Hot Lap session number 4 goes to green. Flight 4 in the books, and Hayden Reinbold will be your quickest driver here in Dirt Draft Hot Laps. 11.619, Jacob Denny 11.706, Mac Leopard 11.758, Kevin Thomas Jr. 11.768, and Justin Grant 11.823 were your 5 quickest drivers. Next on the program, Learn Lab qualifying. Drivers will make their way out one at a time, 2 laps on the clock, their quickest of the 2 counting towards their qualifying effort. They'll get 1 lap to warm up and 2 laps to time. Learn Lab is a maker of award-winning hands-on industrial job skills training systems using curriculum, classroom tools, and rugged hands-on training panels. Learn Lab teaches the necessary skills with real tools and components to help schools, colleges, and companies train people to be better at what they do. Check out learnlab.com for more information. $150 bonus to be your Learn Lab Quick Qualifier. The official 1-lap track record established in September of 2022, 11.361 seconds. An average of 52.812 miles per hour. Ethan Mitchell is the current track record holder. If you're sitting in the grandstands wondering what we're saying when the green flag is out, you can tune in to all of our FloRacing audio at 454.5000. Again, all of our FloRacing broadcast audio is available on frequency 454.5000. Bring your scanner to any USAC National Circle Track event. If you need one, make sure and check out racingelectronics.com or call them at 1-800-272-7111. First driver out to the speedway to kick off Learn Lab qualifying comes to you out of Coleman, Alabama. Driver of the Purple Heart Foundation Metalloid 1 Acro Seal. Driven Performance 4 Kings Racer number 14. This is Kevin Thomas Jr. Kevin Thomas Jr. coming around. He will trip the beam and he will start the clock. 4 starts here at Sweet Springs. A 6th place finish last year, matching his 2019 finish. A 9th and an 11th also for the driver. The number 14 comes around and he will set the bar in 11.702, 117.02 seconds. 4 wins on the season, most recently preliminary night of the BC 39 and the first win for 4 Kings Racing in USAC at National Midget Competition. Second time by, slower by 1/100th of a second, 11.712, 11.702. Lap number 1 will be the mark for Kevin Thomas Jr. Next driver onto the speedway in 43. That'll be Zach Merritt. Merritt coming to you out of Greeley, Colorado. Driver of the Order Racing, Coles Appliance Center. Fifi Grooming, number 43M. 12:076, 1:20.76 seconds is the time for Zach Merritt in search of his first USAC National Midget start here at Sweet Springs. Comes around, second time by. We'll see if he improves. He does not. A 12:314. Lap number 1, a 12:076. Zach Merritt currently second quick. Garrett Benson onto the speedway now at Concordia, Missouri. Driver the 360 Civil, KNC Drywall, LDI, DNS Welding and Fabrication, SR11X Spike. Burke Motorsports, number 27. Through the warm-up lap and on the clock. One win at Airport Raceway with the Centennial Midgets. That was back on May 24th. One start with us in May of 2025 with a 23rd place finish. Comes around lap number 1. We'll see where he stops the clock. Second quick at a 12:026, 1:20.26 seconds. Here in the month of May with Power I Midgets with an 8th place run. Makes his way through turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he improves second time by. He does on time, not positions. Brings it to within .099 seconds of the top spot. Garrett Benson, 11.801. The quick time still 11.702 for Kevin Thomas Jr. On to the speedway now at Allentown, Pennsylvania. Driver the Sound Gear, Toyota Racing Development, Mobile One Curb Records, KKM Curb Continue number 97. This is Gavin Miller. Gavin Miller at speed onto the back straightaway. A 4-time starter here at Sweet Springs for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. 12th place run in this event last year. Other starts include a 10th and 18th and a 6th place finish. Quick time on lap number 1, 11.690, 1:16.90 seconds for Gavin Miller. Last time on track during the dirt track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the BC39, a 2nd and a 6th place finish. Even better second time by 11.640. Gavin Miller now your Learn Lab quick qualifier. Out to the speedway now at Peoria, Arizona. Driver the great company, Rex Road Racing, Advanced Racing Suspensions, McDermott Plumbing, Speedway Toyota Spike, number 40D. This is Drake Edwards. Drake Edwards, the number 40D. Two-time winner on the season, most recently at Angel Park and Badger Midget Competition back on May 31st. A two-time starter here at Sweet Springs. Both last year, he was 3rd in the month of May and 22nd at this event. Both of those in CB Industry rides. Comes around and goes quick time, 11.499. 1:14.99 seconds, just a tick off of the track record. See if he can find it and break it here. Lap number 2. Does he make it? No. Slower, 11.674. But Drake Edwards now to the top here in Learn Lab qualifying. Lap number 1, 11.499 seconds. Next driver onto the speedway. Comes to you out of Kennedale, Texas. Driver the G Hood Construction, Corey's Auto Cores, EA Cell Spike Chassis, TJ4, Time Performance Lubricants, Rush Race Gear number 27X. This is Kyle Jones. Kyle Jones in the Joyner Motorsports entry. On the clock here as he makes his way on the exit turn number 4. We'll see where he goes. He goes 5th quick at a 12.016. A 3-time starter here at Sweet Springs. The best run of 6 with us back in 2024. 23rd in this event last year. He was 8th here in the month of May in 2025. Improves. Lap number 2, 11.944. Still 5th quick for Kyle Jones. And something not sounding right as Levi Heen comes out to the speedway. Driver from right here in town, the FK Indy Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts, FK Rollins, number 21. He will quickly make his way down into the infield. We'll get the Indy Power Sports side-by-side behind him, see if we can get him back down into the pits so the team can go to work. Again, that is Levi Hink. So the track will clear, and we'll continue on. Ethan Mitchell out to the speedway now at Mooresville, North Carolina. Your current one-lap track record holder, driver the Radical Print Company, the Joya Seating, Walker Filtration, Rye Helmets, Bunny Built Spike, number 19M. Comes around to start the clock. 8 starts here at Sweet Springs. He was 13th in this event 1 year ago. His best run here back in 2022 with a 6th place finish. Makes his way through turns 3 and 4. Lap number 1 for Ethan goes 5th quick, 11.930, 11.930 on the opening lap for Ethan Mitchell. Last time on track during the BC39 semi-feature appearances both nights. Comes around, lap number 2, better, 4th quick, 11.746 rather, 11.746 for Ethan Mitchell. Next driver onto the speedway will be Riley Kreisel out of Warsaw, Missouri. Driver the International Manufacturing Supply, Ron Cox owned Royal Power Sports, Truman Lake Marine and Power Sports number 19K. 2 starts here last year in the month of May, led 21 laps, ultimately ended up with the 4th place finish. In this event last year, he was 16th. Semi-feature appearances at the dirt track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway during the BC 39. Goes 6 quick in his opening lap at 11.943, 11.943 seconds for Kreisel. Makes his way to the bottom of 3, swings out wide of the exit turn number 4. We'll see if he improves second time by. He does on time, not position, 6 quick, 11.908 on lap number 2. Next driver onto the speedway, she comes to you out of Peyton, Colorado. Shyla Ernst in the TCR chassis. Gam Esslinger, Colorado's mechanical contractor, performance powder coat. AshcraftMotorsports.com. Fifi Grooming, number 42. One of the RKO management machines here in search of her first start in USAC National Midget Competition. Numerous micro starts here. In fact, was here on July 5th in Outlaw and Stock Non-Wing competition. 9th on her opening lap at a 12.840. Ended up at the B main of Stock Non-Wing and 18th in Outlaw Non-Wing. Just a couple of days ago, comes around, does improve second time by 12.80 for Shyla Ernst. Winner here in May of 2025, also picked up an extreme win back in 2024, driving the RMS EnviroFab Guest Performance Russ Race Gear, Speedway Toyota Spike Chassis number 4. This is Cale Drake. On board of the P1 Performance Products with Cale Drake here as he works off it at turns 3 and 4. We'll see where he lands on lap number 1. 2 wins in Power I competition so far this season. Goes 6th quick in his opening lap at 11.850. 3-time starter in USAC National Midget competition here. Went 17th to 7th in this event 1 year ago. Second time by a little bit slower, 11.877. 6th quick with lap number 1, 11.850. Out of Carl Junction, Missouri. First time we've seen him this season in the Link Chassis, Smith Equipment Company, Panel Chipping, Melmark Pipe Supply, Steve's Guttering, AFD Graphics, Cooper and Hudson Felker on number 11A. This is Andrew Felker. Andrew Felker in the number 11A, a 5-time starter here at Sweet Springs with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. 20th in last year's opener to the Mid-American Midget Week. Makes his way through turns at 3 and 4. We'll see where he lands on lap number 1. It'll be 10th quick at a 12.092, 120.92 seconds. His best run here in May was a 7th place finish, matching the run he had back in 2020. Comes around second time by, better 9th quick, 11.957. That's Andrew Felker in 11. Brandon Carr, the next driver out to the speedway at a Sheffield, United Kingdom. Drive the J. Davis' Scrap Metal Mobile 1 Toyota Curb Records, KKM Curb Janian Speedway Toyota Link Chassis number 98K. One start here back in May of 2025. Had a 21st place finish. The BC 39. Via provisional on night number 2, ran it up to an 8th place finish. Comes around lap number 1, 6 quick, 11.830, 11.830 seconds for Brandon Carr. 8 starts in USAC National Midget Competition so far this season with a pair of top 10 runs. Comes around second time by, a little bit slower, 11.969, 11.830 on lap number 1 will be his best attempt. Puts him sitting at 6th. Aiden Schmidt on track out of Hopstock, Indiana, driven the West Side Automation. Tall Timbers Taxidermy. Stanton Spike Chassis, Ron Cox own number 19X. Through the warm-up lap and on the clock, looking for his first USAC National Midget start here at Sweet Springs. Last time we saw him in a midget was during the BC 39, a semi and a C feature appearance. During that star-studded event, comes around 8th quick on lap number 1, 11.878, 11.878 seconds. Wheel stand, nearly digs her in, but a great save on the back straightaway. Boy, Aiden Schmidt putting a crease in the seat on that one. Comes around in lap number 2, loses nearly a second, 12.831. Lap number 1, 11.878. That was Aiden Schmidt. Victory Lane 1 year ago goes along with 3 total USAC National Midget scores here at Sweet Springs at Bixby, Oklahoma. Driving the Mobile 1 TRD Curb Records Toyota KKM Curb Janian number 71K. This is Cannon McIntosh. 8 starts here in USAC National Competition. Victories coming last year, 2022 and 2020. Also has 3 Power I Midget wins to go along with that. Comes around lap number 1, 5th quick, 11.764, 11.764 seconds for Cannon McIntosh. 7 starts so far this season, 4 top 5s and 7 top 10 finishes. Second time by for Cannon, better 4th quick, 11.724. That was Cannon McIntosh in the 71K. Matt Sherrill on track at a Collinsville, Oklahoma, driving the 212 MB Motorsports, Melton Motorsports, Express Car Wash of Texas, Kaiser Will City Vending, Bobby Huddleston owned Spike, Esslinger powered, number 21. In search of his first USAC National start here at Sweet Springs, makes his way through turns 3 and 4 on his opening lap of qualifying. See where he stops the clock. It'll be 14th quick at a 12:141. Last time we saw him during Indiana Midget Week in the Dan and Patricia Harris own number 2 in D. Behind the wheel, the Huddleston number 21 here tonight. Better on lap number 2, 13th quick, 11:991. That was Matt Sherrill in 21. Brandon O'Rourke onto the speedway, driving the Como Vibes. Pizza Glen, Fontana, Ripper number 44. Two-time starter here at Sweet Springs. 19th in May of 2025. Other starts in 2024. He ran 14th back here in the month of May with Power Eye with a 15th and an 18th place run. Rourke going to make his way into turns 3 and 4. A little bit of a skip. The car getting tight on him. That's going to throw out lap number 1, but he'll come around. He'll stop the clock 15 quick at a 12:420. So 15th right now to the 16 drivers that have come out to take time. Makes his way through turns 3 and 4. Better lap this time. We'll see if he improves. He does on time. It takes about a 10th off, a 12:279. Still 15th though. Out to the speedway now at Avon, California. Driver the NOS Energy Drink. PristineAuction.com. Mobile One Toyota Racing Development. CB Industries. Speedway Toyota Spike number 87. This is Justin Grand. Justin Grand, the number 87. 10-time starter here at Sweet Springs. Second in both appearances last year. His other finishes include a 23rd and 19th place on 2 occasions, a 5th, a 7th, and an 8th place run. Makes his way up to turn number 4. Car got just a tick tight on him there. 11:869. 9th quick right now for Justin Grand. 5 wins on the season, most recently a tri-state during Indiana Midget Week back on June 13th. Again, the car tied at the exit to number 4, but nevertheless he improves. 6 quick, 11:793. Drew Sherman onto the speedway, driving the AME Electrical, Sunshield Products, Stanton Spike, Reinbold Underwood Motorsports, number 19. Driver in search of his first start in USAC National competition here at the Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. He was here with Power Eye back on May 1st and 2nd, a B main and a 19th place appearance. Barriers are up to the cushion through turns 3 and 4. Opening lap for Sherman, 15th at a 12:046. Overall on the season between micro and midget competition, 17 starts, 2 top 5s, and 6 top 10 finishes. Makes his way off at turn number 4, second time by, a little bit better, still 15 quick at a 12:021. Next onto the speedway, coming in off of a wild battle in Silver Crown competition during the Sumar Classic at the Terre Haute Action Track. Back in the wheel of a small car, the AMA Electrical, Jugo Superfoods, Reinbold Development Incorporated, Stanton Spike number 19 AZ. This is Hayden Reinbold. Hayden Reinbold, the 19 AZ. 2-time winner on the season in Silver Crown and National Midget Competition, Circle City during Indiana Midget Week. The site of his victory back on June 9th. Comes around 12th quick on lap number 1, 11:940. 5 starts here at Sweet Springs. A best of 4th in last year's appearance during Mid-America Midget Week. Comes around. Second time by is better, 11:732. 5th quick for Hayden Reinbold. Alex Bidkiff onto the speedway now. Driving the Dave.com Smart Machine Tool, BP Fab, GSR, EA Stealth Missile Chassis. Number 05. Oh my, a little bit of a skip up into the cushion and gets it back underneath him. Lap number 1 starts now, luckily happening during his warm-up lap. As he'll come around and hopefully not losing too much speed here. 19th quick at a 12:291, 1:2291 seconds in search of his first USAC National Midget start here at Sweet Springs. Did pick up an Outlaw non-wing win here back in the month of May. Comes around off a turn number 4. Car gets out just a little bit on him there at 12:443. Lap number 1, 12:291. That was Midkiff in 05. Out of Titusville, Florida, driver the Precise Tooling Solutions, TRD, Mobile One, Curb Records, Walker Filtration, KKM, Kerbic, Genius, number 67K. This is Colton Robinson. Colton Robinson in the 67K. Takes it through the warm-up lap and now on the clock. Marion County back in February, an Outlaw non-wing competition, the site of his victory here in 2026. In search of his first start here at Sweet Springs, comes around lap number 1. Will be 18th at a 12:088. 17th on night number 1 of the BC 39, 23rd on night number 2. Comes around, better, 4th quick, 11:711. Takes 0.377 seconds off of his pace of the opening lap. Next driver onto the speedways out of Aurora, Colorado. Driver the Simpson, West Evans Motorsports, CSI Schoenfeld, RKO Management, number 44X. This is Lance Bennett. Lance Bennett, the number 44X. Normally behind the wheel of his own number 91 machine and in search of his first USAC National Feature start here at Sweet Springs. Comes around on his opening lap, 21st quick at a 12.624, 12624 seconds for Lance Bennett. Well, Bennett's in it right now as he makes his way through turns 3 and 4. We'll see if he improves second time by. Not quite. Loses a 10th. 12.725. Opening lap at 12.624. Jacob Denny on the back straightaway to Galloway, Ohio. Driver the JBL Audio TRD Mobile 1. Curb Records KKM Quebec Acadian number 67. Trips the clock winner here back in 2023. A 6-time starter at Sweet Springs. 9th place finish in 2025. Makes his way around lap number 1. Car picks up just a little bit there. That's going to cost him a 12.047, 18th quick right now for Jacob Denny as he hustles around to the back straightaway. 9 starts so far this season, 1 win, 6 top 5s, and 7 top 10 finishes in USAC National Midget competition. Improves to 12th quick, 11.852. That was Jacob Denny in 67. Bradley Cox out to the speedway now at a Black Forest, Colorado. Joe the Redline Performance Roofing at Link Chassis, Stanton, REM Motorsports, Dirt Crown, Insane Graphics, number 45. Picking up a win with the Rocky Mountain Midget Racing Association back in the month of May in search of his first start here at Sweet Springs with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. 9 USAC National starts so far this season. Comes around 19th quick on his opening lap at a 12.070. 24 drivers so far have taken time out of the 31 who have checked in. Improves to 15th quick, 11.942. A little more than a tenth of a second better second time by. Out of Marysville, Kansas, over the Spicer Aircraft, Velcro Fontana Stealth, Mike Spicer on number 4S. This is Blake Spicer. Blake Spicer in the number 4. Another driver in search of his first USAC National start here at Sweet Springs. Looking all the way back into October 2020, Blake in action here in the Sportsman Division. Ended up with a 14th place finish that night. Berries are up into the cushion through turns 3 and 4. We'll see where he lands on lap number 1. 23rd quick at a 12.489. 1.2489 seconds. Up into the fluff. Exit turn number 2. Brings it back underneath him as he works onto the back straightaway. A little bit of a bounce and a skip and a jump into turn number 3. Brings it around. Lap number 2 will be slower. 13.108, a 12.489 on lap number 1. Puts him 23rd. Caden Warren onto the speedway out of Eaton, Colorado. Driver the Directional Plus, W9 Mopar, Spike, J. Doyle Enterprises, Dagwood Lettering and Graphics, Fred's Trucking, Brian Warren owned, number 12W. Looking to make the cut in a feature competition for the first time here with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship at Sweet Springs. He was here on May 1st and 2nd in Power I competition. 17th on the opening night with a big wheel stand to the front straightaway. B feature appearance on the following night. Goes 21st quick at a 12.175. 1.2175 seconds on lap number 1 for Caden Warren. Up into the cushion and onto the front straightaway. Lap number 2. Better on time. It's all Bob Bond. 007. 12.168. It does improve on time, but not position. Down the last handful of drivers to qualify at Zanesville, Indiana. Driver the Metalloid 1 Performance Products, Acro Seal, Acro Loop, Stanton Link Chassis, 4 Kings Racing, number 54. This is Jacob Boxell. Jacob Boxell in the number 54. Another driver on Mid-America Midget Week for the first time in his career. Sails are off and it turns at 3 and 4. We'll see where he lands on his opening lap. It's going to be 18th quick, 11.987, 1.1987 seconds. 9 starts so far this season, 4 top 5s and 6 top 10 finishes. 21st on night number 1 of the BC 39, a 20th on night number 2. Comes around, does improve by 0.025, 11.962, still 18th quick for Jacob Boxell. Breckin Reese next onto the speedway at Canyon, Texas. Driver the Sierra Towing and Crushing, Speedway Total Link Chassis, Dumas Iron and Metal, Sunny's Grocery, Chandler Grand Prix, D&D Racing, Moving Dirt, Jeff Reese owned, number 20Q. 2 wins on the season at a Port City and Stock Non-Wing and Outlaw Non-Wing competition. A 2-time starter here at Sweet Springs, both of those in 2025. He was 17th when we came here in the month of May and 18th. And the kickoff to Mid-America Midget Week comes around 24th quick at a 12.284, 1.2284 seconds. 27 career USAC National Midget Feature starts, making his way around. Looking to make it into career start number 28 here tonight. Improves 11.911, 15 quick for Breckin Reese. Todd McVeigh onto the speedway now at Green Valley, Missouri, driving the Buddies Automotive. Hair designed by Erica. Stanton Spike Chassis McVeigh Racing, number 89. Another driver in search of his first USAC National Feature Star here at Sweet Springs. Was here with Power Eye back on May 1st and 2nd. B feature on night number 1 and a 21st place finish on night number 2. Comes around to the wave of the white flag, and McVeigh going to go 26 quick at a 12.375, 1:23.75 for Todd McVeigh on lap number 1. The Green Valley, Missouri racer going to hop his way into turn number 3. Twists her around to the exit, turn number 4. Lap number 2, better, 12.285, 25th for McVeigh. Mac Leopard onto the speedway now at Beaver Creek, Ohio. Drive the great company, Joe's Landscaping, Rex Road Racing, Mulch Express of Wisconsin, McDermott Plumbing, Speedway Toyota Spike at number 40L. 2 starts here at Sweet Springs, both coming in last year's outings here with the USAC NOS Energy during Midget National Championship. 20th in the month of May and 19th during Mid-America Midget Week. Comes around on his opening lap, 13th quick, 11.856, 1:18.56 seconds for Mac Leopard. Makes his way onto the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag will greet him to the front straightaway. 13th quick on lap number 1. Second time by, a little bit slower, 11.880, so that's where he will stay. And coming out earlier to attempt to qualify and not sounding any better. So Levi Hink will again roll onto the back straightaway and make the turn down into the pit area. So that'll bring a close to Learn Lab qualifying. 5th quick tonight was Cannon McIntosh. Colton Robinson in 4th. Kevin Thomas Jr. was 3rd. Gavin Miller was 2nd. And your quick time qualifier tonight with the time 11.499 seconds. He comes to you out of Peoria, Arizona, driving the great company, Rex Road Racing, Speedway Toyota, Chase McDermott, number 40D. Race fans, give him a hand, Drake Edwards. Get Drake down in victory lane to get a word with him here in just a moment. Stock non-wing micros also on the card here tonight. They'll have their qualifying sessions coming up. It'll be group qualifying for them. As Drake rolls down to the infield, let's take it down to Drake York.
It's everybody's favorite, the Drake and Drake Show. Drake Edwards is your Learn Lab Quick Time qualifier here tonight at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. And Drake, especially when you went out early here in Learn Lab qualifying, track had a lot of bite to it too. We saw even yourself among others get wheelied up and have a few other issues around this racetrack. What was it like trying to manage the risk versus reward there in Learn Lab qualifying, especially when you went out?
I think it's a very fine line there, especially getting into 3 here. It seems like it has that little hump getting into 3. So luckily my first lap was pretty decent, and luckily we went out pretty early for qualifying because it didn't push any farther up. It just kind of slicked up below it there. So overall, I think our car's really good. Hopefully we can be good once it slicks up a little around the curb. I can't thank Pat Rexroad and Chase for letting me run this week. It's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully we can have more speed like this all week long, and everyone that helps him back there, there's a lot of people that make this deal go around with the great company and Mulch Express of Wisconsin, McDermott Plumbing, Advanced Racing Suspension, all of them. So it's pretty cool.
Unfortunately, after the first night of the the BC 39 presented by Avante Windows and Doors, you guys were the story kind of for all the wrong reasons after getting the win that night too. What would a win tonight here at Sweet Springs mean to you guys, just to kind of right the ship, not only for the team because the team had a good run at BC 39 in the final night, but for yourself personally?
I think it'd be huge. It'll be a huge confidence booster. I think we know that we can do it. Unfortunately, I think it lingers in the back of your mind, with something like that happening, that it doesn't feel like a win when I feel like it should have been. So hopefully we can get it done tonight here.
Drake Edwards, for the second time in his career, is your Learn Lab Quick Time qualifier here tonight to open up Mid-America Midget Week.
So thank you very much. Micros down in the staging lane. Again, they will qualify within groups. The groups will also represent their heat races. 4-car inversion out of qualifying to line up the heat races. From there, it is straight up by your finishing position by order of heat race. Robert Albert Ernest out of Warrenston, Missouri. Trace Sliker out of Sweet Springs in the 48S. Devin Simmons out of Knoxville, Iowa, the 77S. Jed Peaster from here in town. Cameron Morrison out of Marshall, Missouri, in the 77. 11H of Haley Erst out of Peyton, Colorado. And Gabe Zahner out of Sweet Springs in the 32Z. The Big Mama's Cafe, number 32Z, Zahner. They call him Booger so much it's even on the sunshield. So we will get them wound up, and again, qualifying by heat, by group. Problems for one on the back straightaway, gets it off of the wall and keeps her rolling here. Oh, Booger going to make his way through turns 3 and 4. AFD Graphics doing a great job on that machine, but Schleicher right now, well, the 12.939 is your quick qualifier. These drivers getting 3 laps. Again, 3 laps. Checkered flag for qualifying group number 1. Schleicher, no surprise, quickest, a 12.720. His quickest lap coming the third time by. Zahner, second quick, 13.005. Devin Simmons, 13.073. Jed Peaster at a 13.114. And Haley Ernst at a 13.334. Morrison was sixth quick at a 13.423. And Albert Ernest, 14.002. Group number 2, Tyler Christensen out of Bennington, Nebraska. Cooper Flynn out of Queensland, Australia, the 12X. The 12 of Brent Woods out of Chickasha, Oklahoma. Chevy Boyer out of New Haven, Missouri in the 11B, the 38. Brantley Chaden out of Norwalk, Iowa. Sweet Springs driver, Quinn Jones in the 17. And Dylan Braden out of Oak Grove, Missouri in the 1. All set to be here in qualifying group number 2. Well, he's made his way into the tower, so I'm going to make him talk. The one, the only, the Scotty Cook. The Scotty Cook. Get a chance to chat with him here in just a moment as we are underway in qualifying group number 2. Q to the top. Quinn Jones in the 17-12-7-1-1. As the field comes around to complete their opening lap, we'll see if he holds on to that. Brant Woods, Tyler Christensen, Brantley Chaden, Chevy Boyer, those are the 5 quickest so far. Not seeing a time come across for Flynn in the 12. As they come around to the drop of the checkered flag, and Q's going to hold on to it. Quinn Jones, 12-7-1-1. Qualifying group number 3 for the micros coming out. Austin Rayborn out of Odessa, Missouri. Looks like Chase Huff in the 127 out of Odessa. Blake Crooms out of Winter Haven, Florida, the 32C. The 22 of Tucker Ernst out of Peyton, Colorado. Manhattan, Kansas driver Gavin Bolt, former winner here on the 75. And Riley Dawson out of Indianola, Iowa in the 13M. So final flight of qualifying here for the micros. Bill getting wound up again. 3 laps for each one of these groups for the micros. Oh, we got one flipping in a big way over in turn number 4. That was the 75. I believe that was Gavin Bolt. Yeah, the Heartland VP, Valor number 75, digging in and going for an absolutely wicked ride over in turn number 4. Safety crews over on scene. We wait for word on the driver. Getting word from trackside, Gavin is okay after getting upside down over in turn number 4. Another event coming up here at the Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex, August 3rd. Not a bad way to spend a Monday. Scotty Cook's Wheelman Classic, presented by Rod End Supply. As we'll have a replay coming up here on FloRacing, getting a look at what happened over in turns 3 and 4. This is from the speed shot. Goes in, grabs the cushion, and man, I caught about the last flip of that thing. Didn't realize he went over that many times. As I get to look at it here, they will slow the frame rate down. He comes in right there at the top and just absolutely pole vaults. End over end. Thankfully, though, driver's okay. They'll get him on the hook, get the field refired. So anyway, back to August 3rd, Monday, Scotty's Wheelman Classic, Junior Sprints, Restricted A-Class, and Non-Wing. It's all presented by Rod End Supply with help from Factory 14, Martin's Machine Shop, Hyper Racing, the Hyper Racing Tulsa Shootout, powered by NOS Energy Drink, Engler Machine and Tool, Ward-Worthy Promotions, down to Creek County Speedway, Ozark Barge and Dock Services, Oots Enterprises, Sam's Design Company, and looks like Ballard also helping on that. And that will feature the National Open Wheel 600 Series. So despite getting upside down, his opening lap is the best one out of everybody. 12.915 Gavin Bolt. Comes out with a silver lining. Blake Crooms, Riley Dawson, Chase Howe, Austin Rayborn, and Tucker Ernst. Scotty, what made you want to promote a show?
A lot of things. It's time to do it. I've been wanting to pull the trigger for the last couple of years on it, Brian.
I was going to say, you've talked about it a few times as we were going up and down the road and you know, and had some downtime, that it was something that you'd always looked at and you wanted to do, but finally going to get it done. You've got Terry involved with the National Open Wheel 600 Series. Of course, we'll have him with us tomorrow when we head over to Beloit, Kansas for the Chad McDaniel Memorial.
Then you're going on up to Fairbury with him, I guess?
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday?
They'll have 3 days at Fairbury.
Oh, hey, what a great place to spend 3 days. But, man, Brian, I cannot be filled with more gratitude with the cooperation of, let alone Terry Maddox with the National Open Wheel 600 Series, but all of the folks here at the Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex on the board of directors. Like I said, I've been talking to them about doing this for a couple of years. They've left the door open to say, whenever you want to do it, let's do it. So the time has come. Expecting a pretty doggone big car count. Got word that the Larson kids are going to be here, Owen and Audrey Larson.
So one thing about that we need to point out, it's old school as old school can get. There's not a broadcast. If you want to know what's going on, you got to be here.
That's right. That's right. Yep. We're not going to broadcast it.
It'll be on MRP, so you can see it in the palm of your hand.
Right.
But you will not have a live broadcast. So that's something to point out here. You got to be here to check all the action.
And so with a lot of near capacity here tonight at the Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex, how cool to see such a big crowd on a Tuesday night. And so with that, with all of you folks here in attendance, I just had a meeting with a couple of the board members a little bit earlier, and I'm talking about maybe doing some special ticket promotions, 2 for 1, and we're going to get the ball rolling, hopefully to get the grandstands filled up here for that Monday night, August 3rd, and I am just so grateful. You know, I've had a really, really good relationship here at the Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex through all of my endeavors in the last 15, 20 years, and it just works. I've had several people ask me why. Well, why? It's in my backyard. Sweet Springs has always been loyal to me, and let alone it's a kick-ass micro track, and we're just tickled to death to be able to have it here.
Looking forward to that Monday, August 3rd here at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex, Scotty Cook's Wheelman Classic. For updates on that, they can follow you on Facebook. Just search for Scotty Cook's Wheelman Classic. 788 followers already. We'll see if we can get that up to 1,000. And, of course, we want more people than that in the grandstands. But make sure and show Scotty some love. He has been a voice of motorsports here in the Show Me State and across the U.S. for decades now. And taking his first step into promotion and, of course, along with the National Open Wheel 600 Series, Monday, August 3rd.
And with that, I got to say, buddy, I guess we took it for granted all the years you and I got to spend on the road with you. And being that you and I don't get to visit and catch up very much anymore, I am just tickled to death to be here with you tonight. And I just so cherish all the miles and memories that we had up and down the highway. And before I check out, I want to send a shout out to somebody attending a dirt track for her first time ever tonight. My brother's girlfriend, Miss Kayla Edwards Phillips here, and her 2 grandsons. So we hope you guys have a wonderful time and a special welcome here to the Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex.
Thank you very much, Scotty. And again, you can find Scotty Cook's Wheelman Classic on Facebook, and make sure to join him on Monday, August 3rd. So crews doing a little bit of work scraping the walls around the Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. Again, 31 drivers checking in here tonight with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Don't forget, tomorrow we head down the road, the Chad McDaniel Memorial happening in Beloit, Kansas, Mitchell County Fairgrounds, and then we will take the 9th to travel up to Fairbury, Nebraska, and Jefferson County Speedway. That is on the 10th and 11th. Now 600 action starting tomorrow, and they will race all the way through Saturday. They have 3 nights of racing in Jefferson County, as I mentioned earlier, and that will set the stage for their Saturday program. The big cars of the Silver Crown Series, the Rich Vogler Classic back on track on July 19th, and then we kick off NOS Energy Drink Indiana Sprint Week presented by K&N Filters, a $50,000 point fund up for grabs, and it all begins at the dirt track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on July 23rd. Lincoln Park the following night, Kokomo on the 25th, Lawrenceburg on the 26th, Circle City on the 27th. Then we take a day off. Paragon is where we kick things back off, and of course you can see the entire lineup of events when you go online to USACRacing.com. Remember, if you can't be there, you can catch it all on FloRacing. So getting word for the pit area, one of our competitors unfortunately scratching tonight, Drew Sherman. Coming up with engine problems. We'll get a look as he made his way back down into the pit area, and you'll see a lot of smoke starting to pour off of that engine. So problems right directly at the end of his qualifying run. The crew able to get back and take a look at it. Unfortunately, terminal, and he will be done for tonight. Hopefully they can complete repairs, and we'll see them back in action tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to that time of the night. We would ask that you please rise for invocation and national anthem. And as you stand, last week, the world lost a voice. And if you're from the Show Me State, if you're from the Kansas City area, it was a booming voice. It was the voice of motorsports for decades. Called home was Mr. Scott Traylor. On a November afternoon in Las Cruces, New Mexico in 2010, he asked the question that would shape my career. Have you ever thought about doing this for a living? If that question is not asked and answered, I'm not here to do this today, and I am forever grateful for the opportunity and the chance that he took to vouch for me, to vouch for Scotty Cook, and to work alongside Kirk Elliott for 26 years with Racing Boys. His online broadcasting platform pioneered and set the stage for a lot of what we do today on FloRacing. And for that, we are forever indebted to him. It didn't feel appropriate to recognize Scott during the BC 39 or during our time in Indiana, as we knew we were coming home to his home. And so tonight we would ask a moment of silence in memory and respect of one of the Show Me State sons, Mr. Scott Traylor. If you would join us in prayer this evening. Our Father in heaven, tonight we would ask that you would watch down upon us, and before we would ask for your guidance or for your protection, we would give thanks for that. We thank you, Lord, for your glory, your grace, and above all, your forgiveness, for we fall short of your ways, but you never fail to bring us back to your path if we would simply turn to you. And now, Lord, tonight we would ask of you protection, grace, glory, and above all, the virtues of friendship and forgiveness in a moment that could be tarnished by anger and regret. We ask not only that you watch over and keep calm the heads of those behind the wheel, but those who have gathered on these grounds, our fans, our officials, their crews, and that you would watch over us in every aspect of our lives until you call us home. We ask all these things and give thanks in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen. Cars making their way out onto the speedway. Heat race number 1 of 4 tonight for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. 10 times around. Top 5 out of each of the heat races moving on directly into your feature event. Everybody else into a 5-star body semi-feature. K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. Set to roll out to the green like this. Driver from the pole comes to you out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, driving the 212MB Motorsports Express Car Wash of Texas, Kaiser City Vending number 21AJ. It's going to be Matt Sherrill. Lining up next to him in 45, he's out of Black Forest, Colorado, driving the Red Line Performance Roofing, REM Motorsports. Link stat number 45, that is Bradley Cox. Second row from the inside, it'll be Mac Leopard out of Beaver Creek, Ohio. The great company, Joe's Landscaping, Rex Road Racing. McDermott number 40L. Next to him in 27, Garrett Benson out of Concordia, Missouri, driving the 360 Civil KNC Drywall LDI DNS Welding Fabrication number 27. Next row from the inside, it's Cannon McIntosh out of Bixby, Oklahoma, driving the Mobile One TRD Curb Records KKM Kerbagagina number 71K. Next to him, your Learn Lab Quick Qualifier at Peoria, Arizona, the great company Rex Road Racing Advanced Racing Suspension number 40D, that is Drake Edwards. Final row from the inside, it'll be Brandon Rourke out of Lincoln, Missouri. Driving the Como Vive, Steve Guttering, Pizza Glen, Ripper Fontana, number 44, and the 44X rounding out your lineup. Lance Bennett out of Aurora, Colorado, driving the Simpson West Evans at Gam Esslinger Spike, number 44X. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for Heat Race number 1 for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship, brought to you by K1 Race Gear. K1 Race Gear is proud to be one of the very few companies to outfit any driver from kids at K1 Speed to USAC champions. We're K1 Race Gear and join their list of champions today. Learn more at K1RaceGear.com. K1 Race Gear are also outfitting the USAC National Safety Crew. One final car to make its way out to the racing surface here before we go to green in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. Again, each of these heat races, 10 laps in distance. Top 5 slated to go directly into the feature event. Waiting Brandon Rourke. The car now going to make an appearance here on the front straightaway. We'll get him fired and ready to go. So as we wait the field to make their way into turns 3 and 4, real quick, let's check him and Drake York.
And the reason the 44 machine is late to this heat race, Brian, they had to swap out an entire rear end after Learn Lab qualifying. So they've been thrashing on it since they got that car back to the trailer. A seal going bad on the rear axle. That's what caused the rear end change to occur. But glad to see Brandon get in that team, get that car stitched together, and make the call here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1.
Thank you very much. The Rourke HVAC Como Vibes number 44 able to fire. Find a little bit of throttle onto the back straightaway and make his way to the tail end of the field. So again, Sherrill in the 21. During getting into midweek was behind the wheel of a Second Opinion Auto number 2 ND machine behind the wheel of the 21AJ tonight, owned by Bobby Huddleston. An Esslinger with a spiked chassis. Cox in the 45 along next to him, Leopard and Benson in row number 2, McIntosh and Edwards, and they will swap positions on the final row. It'll be Bennett to the inside now and Rourke to the outside, late to the party, so that does dock him 1 spot at least. As we get ready to go to green field, going to work to the NOS Energy start can of turn number 4. Heat race number 1 is underway. Battle it out onto the back straightaway, high side, the place to be right now for the 45. He'll ran out to the race lead. It'll be Bradley Cox trying to lead lap number 1. He's got it. Leopard up to second. Sherrill gets shuffled back to third. Benson was 4th at the line. McIntosh takes that spot away. He's looking for more. He's got 3rd onto the back straightaway. Down to the inside, rolling wide to the exit to number 4. Now they'll swap around lines. Benson in the 360, civil number 27, trying to fend off the charge of the 40D of Drake Edwards. That's for the transfer spot into the feature event. Back into the hands of the 40 here. Oh, upside down. Turns 3 and 4, claims another one. This time it's Mac Leopard. Saw an absolutely massive ride in the micros earlier. Now in heat race number 1 for the Midgets, it is Mac Leopard who is running second. And driver is okay. Again, driver is okay after taking a ride. Crew going to work on hooking up the McDermott Racing number 40 here. Drake up, getting a look at everything. Let's go down trackside.
A lot of front-end damage on the 40L machine driven by Mac Leopard. For the moment, he's going to stay in the car. We'll see if he goes to the Indy Metal finishing work area, but there you get a look at the damage here. Pretty much the whole front end of this car is shoved backwards. As a matter of fact, it's displaced some of the body work on this car, too. You see that left side body panel is slightly torn off and moved from where it originally is. So a lot of front axle damage, including the left front shock. Might have even got the radiator in that impact as well. We'll see if that team can make repairs in the Indy Metal finishing work area. But if they do decide to go that route, Brian, it's going to be a tall task.
Indeed, getting a look at the car there and that front end, very askew. Replay coming here on the FloRacing broadcast of what happened over in turns 3 and 4. Takes it in and upside down up on the top side of the speedway. And you can see the frustration immediately. The body language says it all. We don't even have to interpret what was being said behind the wheel of that thing. Hard hit. Fortunately, the fence kicking him back out onto the racing surface, not coming down directly on top of the wall. So Chase McDermott and company going to have plenty of work to do to get that car back out to the racing surface. So caution lights will come back on. 2 laps officially completed. Bradley Cox leading. McIntosh going to move to second. Sherrill to third. Benson in fourth. And Edwards back into the top 5. Rourke and Bennett going to round out your field. So a good back and forth to get into a transfer spot between Edwards and Benson. Now going to restart in a transfer spot. Real quickly, let's check in with Drake.
Well, it's interesting to point out here, Brian, one CMR's car misfortune is the gain for the other. Of course, Drake Edwards teammates with Mac Leopard in the 40L machine under the Chase McDermott Racing banner. So as you said, Brian, the 40D going to restart in a transfer spot here. And I wanted to mention this during Drake's Learn Lab Quick Time qualifier interview. He's had a knack for this place, too. I go back to our first stop last year here in the month of May. He was in contention for the win, finished on the bottom step of the podium that night. Like I said, a little bit of luck going his way here early in the night to make sure, or rather put him back into a transfer spot here with a long way to go in heat race number 1.
Indeed, thank you very much. As the field lines up to the back straightaway, caution lights go dark, single file through the NOS Energy Start Can. Exit turn number 4 into the tire tracks of the driver in front of you. Cox brings him around, finds the throttle. We're back underway. Gannon McIntosh going to quickly look to the inside and see if he can get down and get after it for the race lead. Off into turns 3 and 4, side by side onto the front straightaway. Bradley Cox going to fend him off for the time being. Gannon McIntosh not done, still scurrying around the inside of the racetrack. A little bit of bump and run there to the back straightaway, a little bit further back of the pack, but focus on the lead. Here comes the 45. Leans her hard to the right side, holds on to the top spot. Coming up on the midpoint here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. Now Bradley going to get just a little bit of room between himself and the Mobile 1 number 71K as they work through turns 3 and 4. Cannon vacating the bottom and going to the high side. That time at the exit of the 4th turn goes high side this time in turns 1 and 2. Matt Sherrill running in the 3rd spot. Garrett Benson, Drake Edwards right now running at your top 5. Edwards and Benson, they were the ones playing bumper tag just a couple laps ago. As they'll roll around to the front straightaway, close and back up here in the great company number 40. Look to the inside for the 4th position. Sitting in a transfer spot now trying to get some insurance. Brannigan Rourke setting sights on him as they work into turns 3 and 4. Still a little ways back, but made up several car lengths last time around. As he throws a slide, he'll take that spot away from the 360 Civil number 27. Benson back to 5th. Back up front, Cannon McIntosh working high, working low. Here comes the slide again. Good battle going on for the 4th spot. It's going to be Garrett Benson retaking it. White flag coming this time. We'll see who comes out on top of this battle. Final trip here in K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1 begins. An eye on the 4th spot, an eye on the lead. Edwards into the back of the 27. He's going to stall the car over in turn number 2. Caution lights instead of the checkered flag. Ooh, Edwards. Couple of times during the course of this race has found the back bumper, the 27B. This time found her just a little bit too much. Just like picking up a snapping turtle. Good chance he's going to get you, and that's exactly what happened here as they make their way into turns 1 and 2. Had a run, looked like maybe trying to time it and dive to the inside. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Single file through the NOS Energy Star Can. 1 lap shootout. Cannon on the last restart had been right there. Wasn't able to make the pass this time. Has a massive run onto the back straightaway. Side by side. He'll throw the slide into 3. Bradley going to try and turn to his inside. Drag race down to the checkered flag. It will be the 71K of Cannon McIntosh stealing K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1. Bradley Cox in second. Cannon going to come to a stop following the checkered flag. Garrett Benson ends up in third. Matt Sherrill and Brannigan Rourke going to end up taking the final transfer spot. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, comes to Bixby, Oklahoma, driver of the Mobile 1 TRD Curb Records number 71K. Give him a hand, Cannon McIntosh. Winner of this event 1 year ago. 3rd time he has gone to victory lane here at Sweet Springs with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. 6 overall wins. That includes a trio of Power I wins here as well. Will make his 9th appearance in a feature competition in USAC National Midget Competition. Crew going to get the Indy Power Sports side by side behind him. We'll see if they bring him around to the front straightaway so we can get a word with our heat race winner. And looks like possibly something may have gone wrong post checker flag. He's going to go ahead and head back into the pit area. Drake, maybe he was scared of talking to you.
You know, Brian, a few people have said that in my day, no question about that. And like you said, I'd be curious to know what's going on in the KKM camp if they're rushing Cannon back to the pit area that quickly. We'll follow that story as the night progresses on.
Thank you very much. Heat race number 2 making its way out onto the speedway. Again, getting word Drew Sherman scratching for the night. Engine problems on the number 19. He was slated for the pole position. Kyle Jones was set to go next to him at Kennedale, Texas. The G-Hood Construction, Corey's Autoco number 27X. Aiden Schmidt in the 19. Driver coming to us out of Hopstock, Indiana. Driving the Westside Automation, Spike Stanton number 19X, set to go from 3rd for 4th, the 98K. Brandon Carr, the driver to Sheffield, England. Driver the J. Davis, the Scrap Metal 1 Toyota number 98K. 3rd row was originally set to be the 19AZ of Hayden Reinbold of Gilbert, Arizona. The AME Electrical Jugo Superfoods entry. Outside of him, the 97 of Gavin Miller. The Sound Gear TRD Mobile 1 KKM Kerbik Ajania number 97. The 89 of Todd McVeigh at Green Valley, Missouri. The hair designed by Erica number 89. And the 21H of Levi Hink out of Sweet Springs, Missouri. Problems for that driver in 2 attempts at qualifying. As the car rolling, we'll see if he can find some RPMs here. Real quick, let's check in with Drake with an update.
Yeah, so far so good for Levi Hink here. We'll get a real idea if that race car is good to go once he stabs the throttle a few more times. They told me back in the pit area right before the 8-minute horn went off for these heat races that it was a misfiring issue, and really they hadn't gotten to the bottom of it right before we started our heat race action earlier this evening. So we'll see if that misfiring issue, if they did get to the bottom of it. You've also been talking about Drew Sherman a little bit. Haven't got exact confirmation from the team yet. Drew did tell me he's not sure if it totally blew up or not. We do know it was dumping a lot of oil onto that race car. That's where some of that smoke was coming from. But no matter how you slice it, tough break for Drew Sherman. Hopefully we see him tomorrow out in Beloit, Kansas.
Thank you very much. Inside row going to move straight up, so Aiden Schmidt now going to occupy the pole position. Kyle Jones going to go to his right. Hayden Reinbold going to start 3rd with Brandon Carr from 4th. Todd McVeigh, Gavin Miller, and Levi Hink Now set to round out your lineup, and problems persist for the number 21. So taking the turn down into the pit area. Heat race number 2 brought to you by TJ Forge. TJ Forge Wheels was founded to be the best no-compromise forged wheels for the motorsports industry. Go to tjforge.com to get started today. So 6 cars going to go ahead and roll to the green past the NOS Energy start can. We're underway. Field dashing off into turns 1 and 2. Aiden Schmidt going to have the advantage. They roll onto the back straightaway behind him. The Joyner Motorsports number 27, Kyle Jones, lurking. Not able to come around and take over the top spot. The Jay Davis' scrap metal number 98 tries the inside. Has to get to the binders. Car a little tight. Sweeps up across the racetrack. Aiden Reinbold is there to capitalize. The 19 going to go for third into turns 3 and 4. Car gets it on the bounce. That's going to cost him another spot here. The Sound Gear number 97. Able to roll by. Gavin Miller takes over the 4th spot. Brandon Carr back to the final transfer spot into the feature event. Not done. Here comes a battle at the front of the field. Jones in 27. Got a good run into turns 3 and 4. Pulled up alongside Aiden Schmidt for just a moment. The 19X able to fend off the charge of Old Snidely Whiplash here as they make their way through turns at 3 and 4. Still, the West Side Automation number 19. Right now over the EA Stealth number 27. Kyle Jones again with a great run and attack at turns 1 and 2. Has the bite in the middle of the turn, just not quite at exit. This time, is it a different story? No, it is still the 19 on the outside. Aiden Schmidt holds on to the race lead. Kyle Jones running a second. Hayden Reinbold sits in third. One up into the wall. Sudden stop for the 98. Turns 3 and 4. Send a couple flying. This time sends one up into the wall. That's Brandon Carr. So the good news, we can see the driver loosen up the seat belts. He is okay. Indy Power Sports side by side, going to hook onto the front of that machine, get it cleared, and we'll get back underway. Down at the scene of the accident with the Jay Davis scrap metal number 98, Drake, a lot of damage on the front end.
Yeah, not entirely sure if it's just all in the front axle or if there's radius rod damage or shock damage to that 98K entry. It's such a bummer for Brandon Carr. Had a great run out at the BC 39 presented by Avante Windows and Doors. He earned a season best 8th place finish. Mind you, he started all the way back in 26th on the final night after taking a provisional. So a good little bit of momentum headed into Mid-America Midget Week. Just might have went away there for Brandon Carr as he heads pit side.
Single file to the NOS Energy start can, set to get back after it halfway here in TJ Ford's heat race number 2. Again, Aiden Schmidt leading. Kyle Jones second. Reinbold in third. Miller in fourth. McVeigh now going to have the final transfer spot. Single file through the NOS Energy start can. Back to green. Battle for third here on the restart. Battle for the lead as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. The 97 of Gavin Miller going to take over the third spot, but it's going to be Aiden Schmidt hanging the Hoosiers to the sky here on the front straightaway, holding on to the race lead. Now the quick bobble and a misstep at the exit to number 2, and that's all it takes. Kyle Jones going to take the number 27 up to the top spot. The Joyner Motorsports entry leads with 7 laps in the books. Gavin Miller tried the inside, hooked that inside berm. You saw it shoot the car up the racetrack a little bit. Reinbold trying to come in to capitalize, wasn't able to get there fast enough. Gavin running in third. 2 to go, white flag coming this time. Patience while constantly attacking so far. Paying off for the driver to Kennedale, Texas as he works onto the back straightaway. Gavin Miller in the meantime with a pass for second into the final 2 turns. Checker flag's going to fly in this one. Kyle Jones winner in TJ Ford's heat race number 2. Second goes to Gavin Miller by 0.095 seconds over Aiden Schmidt, Hayden Reinbold, Tom McVeigh. That rounds out your field of drivers on track. Carr, Sherman, and Hink unofficially rounding out your field. Carr not able to finish. Sherman and Hink problems not able to begin. So the driver to Kennedale, Texas going down. We'll get a word with him in a moment. The G-Hook Construction, Corey's Auto Core, TJ Ford's number 27X. Give him a hand, Kyle Jones. So So again, Gavin Miller with a good late race run to second. Aiden Schmidt, Hayden Reinbold, Tom McVeigh, those five drivers moving on. He'll get the helmet off. Let's go down trackside.
Kyle Jones taking that TJ Forge heat race too. Now, previous to that caution, just patiently working the bottom, how do you go to the restart?
Yeah, I got to make some adjustments there and just kind of have a lot of laps around this place and just know kind of what my car wanted. And right there from qualifying to heat race, really took some gear out of it, and we kind of needed to even take more. Called Tim Engler, talk about how much how much power this thing's got, and he told me, he said, take some gear out of it, be good, and just needed a little bit more there. I feel like even so, we're just hitting the box pretty good, but car's great. We got a really good balance around the car. That helped us out a ton, with our qualifying for being so poor. So should start us up near the front half. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what we can do in this feature. And just want to say thanks to Doug with TJ Forge and Dave with High Performance and Tim Engler and Corey Joyner for this week. He's kind of taking over for Tim and letting me come out here and race this Mid-America Midget Week. And I love this week. We get to go to some cool places and just say hi to my fiance and my son back home.
Kyle Jones still taking notes from Tim Engler, but in that Joyner Motorsports car. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you very much. His first heat race win of the season in USAC National Midget Competition as we roll into K&N Filters heat race number 3. Drivers slated for the poles out of Greeley, Colorado, driving the RKO Management. Fifi Grooming, Coles Appliance Center, number 43M. It's going to be Zach Merritt. Outside of him, driver of the number 11A. He's from right down the road in Carl Junction, Missouri. Driver of the Smith Equipment Company, Panel Chipping, Melmar Pipe Supply. AFD Graphics, number 11, and that is Andrew Felker. Second row from the inside, the 19K is going to be Riley Kreisel out of Warsaw, Missouri. The International Manufacturing Supply, Truman Lake Marine and Power Sports, number 19K. And next to him in 98, or next to him in 4, rather, is going to be Cale Drake out of Collinsville, Oklahoma. Driver of the RMS EnviroFab Guest Performance, number 4. The 19M out of Mooresville, North Carolina, driving the Radical Print Company, the Toyo Seating, Walker Filtration, and Rye Helmets, number 19M. It's going to be Ethan Mitchell. Next to him will be Kevin Thomas Jr. He'll roll from 6 out of Coleman, Alabama. The Purple Heart Foundation, Metaloid 1, AcroSeal, NW Manufacturing, number 14. The 05 inside of your final row is going to be Alex Midkiff out of Belleville, Illinois. The BP Fam GSR EA Stealth 05 of the 42 of Shyla Ernst out of Peyton, Colorado. The Colorado Mechanical Contractor, Gammy Esslinger, TCR Chassis, number 42. Kevin Thomas Jr. on track, and of course that means the Purple Heart Foundation t-shirts. They have started doing pre-orders on that. Again, $14 off of each one of those t-shirts being donated back to the Purple Heart Foundation. Go to shopktj.com. They do not have the trailer out here for Mid-America Midget Week, so that's where you want to go. So they are doing a pre-order on that. There was such a huge demand, especially on the purple shirts. So they're not sure when they're going to ship those out, but go to shopktj.com and put your order in and help a great cause with the Purple Heart Foundation. Field lining up, and Drake York with an update.
Brian, I'm keeping my eye on the driver rolling from the inside of row number 2 here in our third heat race of the evening. That's Riley Kreisel, and if you're looking for somebody that's good on your dirt draft lineup, Riley Kreisel might be a sneaky one. If you go back to a race here last year in May, he was leading late in that one, had a late yellow flag, that right rear tire sealed over, and basically that took a lot of the right rear grip away from Riley in the final stages of that race. And talking to Riley today, I asked him, is this a bit of a redemption tour here tonight? He said, not really. We set the bar really low, but when we exceed that, boy, do we really exceed that here with this 19 program. And he's got a lot of laps here, too, between sprint cars and midgets and the micros. So he, like I said, Brian, could be a really sneaky pick. Like I said, he's not necessarily looking for redemption, but secretly I think he's after it.
See how things roll out here as we get ready to go in K&N Filters heat race number 3. Of course, K&N Filters also presenting the K&N Clean Air Award, a $100 bonus to the driver who leads the most laps in USAC National, Silver Crown, and Midget Competition, 8 feature events throughout the 2026 season. As we get underway here in heat race number 3, it will be the 11A jumping out to the early advantage. Felker coming around to lead a lap number 1 to the panel chipping number 11, the 19. Sitting in second, upside down goes the 4, Cale Drake. So Drake back up right here. The 43 also involved on the front straightaway. So we'll get Merritt pointed back in the right direction, get him cleared from the scene. And right now, Drake down on scene, getting a look at the RMS number 4.
It looks like the only big piece of damage on the RMS Racing number 4 is left side nerf bar damage, and I can't quite tell if that's going to be a problem necessarily rubbing up against the left rear tire as he comes by me. It looks like it won't be, but the bottom end of that nerf bar is digging into the racetrack, so they're definitely going to want to address that in the Indy Metal finishing work area. A little bit of fluid coming out of this car as well. Cale has already made his intentions known to the USAC officials that he will go to the Indy Metal finishing work area. Like I said, though, it looks like the only real piece of damage on that car is that left side nerf bar.
Lacey Doyle and Janky Bobby going to have a little bit of work to do here tonight. And again, remember, Cale Drake is carrying our P1 Performance Australia onboard camera. So we'll get a look at it here as they work off of turn number 4. Contact rights over lefts between the 4 and the 43, and that sends Drake flipping into turn number 1. And we'll go on board here as he makes his way right at the flag stand, the contact. And unfortunately ending upside down. The fortunate part, though, getting right side up quickly. So a quick visit down to the Indy Metal finishing work here as we get another look from the onboard angle, again courtesy of P1 Performance Australia and Stita.com. So Janky Bobby down there getting a look at it. Lacey Doyle as well. Looks like they have cleared the issue there on the left nerf iron. Looks like they've cut a piece of it away. So the onboard shop, we mentioned Stita.com, and the question is, what is that? The Short Track Independent Drivers and Associates. It was formed in 1998 to serve the safety and needs of racers wherever they are. They're an international organization founded to promote the latest safety technologies and provide unmatched savings for those products. For 25 years, they've supported racers by having 3 different membership levels with insurance policies that cover U.S. citizens anywhere in the world and citizens from other countries racing in the U.S. It is an insurance policy that drivers can get on top of their existing insurance policy, even if they have their own medical insurance, their own life insurance, whatever. This is a separate plan that drivers can get at a very low cost that covers them anywhere in the world. So again, they are one of the supporters and sponsors of our onboard camera, and explain to you a little bit more of what that is. So field set to go back to green. Felker in the 11 leading. Riley Kreisel lining up in his back bumper. Ethan Mitchell lining up in 3rd. Kevin Thomas Jr. in 4th. And Midget running at your top 5 as we get back after it. 1 lap officially completed. 9 remaining. See if Andrew can hold on for a heat race win right around the bottom of turns 3 and 4. The panel chipping. Number 11. Being stalked by Kreisel. Riley looking to the top side of both ends of the racetrack. So far, Andrew able to fend him off here. They're going to start to run away from the rest of the running order here. A pair of locals at the front. Ethan Mitchell running in 3rd. Midkiff under pressure from the 4. Cale Drake, that's for the transfer spot. Up in front of them, you got the 14 of Kevin Thomas Jr. He set sights on the bunny belt number 19, up over the cushion into 1, brings it down, and look at the drive of the back straightaway. Might have found a little something here as they go side by side with the transfer spot behind them. Cale Drake fighting back up into contention. The EnviroFab RMS number 4 back up into a transfer spot here. Kevin Thomas had that massive run the last time around, wasn't able to seal the deal, and continues to chase Lil Bundy here as the battle for the lead heats up even more. The 19 of Riley Kreisel side by side with Andrew Felker for a moment to the exit of turn number 2. Laps winding down. They'll come around to cook off lap number 7. Felker holds on to it. Gets that right rear right up next to the wall. Fends off the charge of Kreisel. If you're a fan of Sweet Springs, you've seen this battle play out year after year and class after class, and it continues here tonight. The Melmark Pipe Supply number 11 trying everything he can to fend off Kreisel here on the back straightaway. Wheel to wheel once again. Who will have the advantage this time into turns 3 and 4? White flag coming out. Battle and game on at the front of the field. Riley Kreisel by .027 at the line, secures it onto the back straightaway. Felker coming back after him, though, as they work into turns 3 and 4. Kreisel going to go down. He'll take the line away, and on the last lap comes around to win in K&N Filters Heat Race number 3. Fantastic battle in Heat Race number 3. Kreisel comes away with the win. Felker in second. Ethan Mitchell. Kevin Thomas Jr., Alex Midkiff, unofficially your top 5 in that one. Excuse me, you also had Kel Drake up there running at your top 5. My apologies. It was Kreisel, Felker, Mitchell, KTJ, and Drake running at your top 5. Midkiff, Ernst, and Merritt unofficially running out your field. It is a battle that has been fought all over the Sooner and Show Me States through micros, midgets, and probably bicycles if we gave him the chance. Ladies and gentlemen, coming out on top of that one at Warsaw, Missouri, give him a hand, Riley Kreisel. Down to Drake.
How fun was K&N Filters Heat Race number 3, that battle between Riley Kreisel and Andrew Felker? And Riley, I was just talking before that heat race how much experience you have here at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. How much of that experience factor into getting past Andrew there at the very end to get the win?
Yeah, a lot. I think probably one of the only few guys here that has more experience here than I do is Andrew, so I knew it was going to be tough to get by him. The bottom's really good, and he was just making himself really wide, but I've watched a lot of races here that you can get around the middle really good when it gets dirty. You just carry so much speed across it, so yeah, just kind of went searching there and started just moving my entry down and found a little bit of stuff there that was really good, so we'll just keep working on it, and it was a crucial heat race win there with my poor qualifying effort, so yeah, we'll just see what that does for us.
Riley Kreisel, he almost won here last year in May. Let's see if he can get into victory lane for the first time here with the USAC National Midget Championship tonight at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. He's your winner of K&N Filters Heat Race number 3.
Indy Power Sports Heat Race number 4, staging out to the Speedway. Caden Warren out of Eaton, Colorado, driving the Directional Plus W9 Mopar Spike chassis number 12W, slated for the pole position. Outside of him, it'll be Jacob Boxell at Zanesville, Indiana. The Middle One Performance Products, Stanton Link chassis, Acro Seal, Acro Lube, 4 Kings Racing number 54. Second row from the inside, the 20 of Brecken Race out of Canyon, Texas, a Sierra Towing and Crushing Speedway Link chassis. Dumas Iron and Metal Chandler Grand Prix number 20Q, and outside of him, you'll find the JBL Audio TRD Mobile One Toyota Curb Wreckers number 67 of Jacob Denny. Justin Grant inside of number 3 from the 5th starting spot. He's out of Ione, California, driving the NOS Energy Drink, PristineAuction.com, Mobile One Toyota Racing Development, CB Industries number 87. Next to him, the gentleman from Florida, Colton Robinson and the Precise Tooling Solutions CRD Mobile 1 KKM Kerbeck Jania number 67K. He's at a Titusville, and your final starter is scheduled to be Blake Spicer to Marysville, Kansas. The Spicer Aircraft Felker Fontana Stealth, Mike Spicer owned number 4S. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for Indy Power Sports Heat Race number 4 for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Make sure and swing down to the USAC merchandise trailer before you leave, located right outside of the gates here. Fully stocked with all your 2026 race day must-have gear, t-shirts, hoodies, hats, koozies, blankets, decals, and more. Triple Crown Annual, only $5 while supplies last. And, of course, if you want a paper copy of the roster, they're only $1. And, again, that is at the USAC merchandise trailer. Of course, you can also shop 24/7 at usacgear.com. Indy Power Sports offers the vehicles and equipment you want, plus the service and parts you need to keep them running in top shape, including ATVs, electric bikes, motorcycles, and utility vehicles. Browse their full inventory and see everything they have in stock, both new and used, at indy-powersports.com. All the different ways you can follow along. Of course, you can download the My Race Pass app, get all the lineups, rosters, results right in the palm of your hand, or you can follow us on social media. Make sure to find us on Facebook by searching for USAC Racing, on X and Instagram, USAC Nation. A reminder, if it's on social media as well as My Race Pass, it is unofficial. All official news, notes, points, and updates are done at the close of the program at usacracing.com. Toyota Racing Development pace truck will make its way down into the infield. Again, Warren and Boxell on row number 1. Reese, then Denny. Grant, then Robinson and Spicer. To the NOS Energy start can. We find the throttle and we're underway. 3 wide for the 3rd spot. The JBL number 67 challenge down to the inside of the 20Q. He'll roll right through the middle. Justin Grant was in that mix. He's going to fall back at the tire tracks here. The 87 going to come around, and he'll ride in the 5th spot. Is up front. It's going to be the 54, Jacob Boxell. He'll take over the race lead. The 20Q of Brecken Reese right now running in second. The 67, Jacob Denny runs in third. Justin Graham running in fourth. The 67K in the meantime takes over the transfer spot. It's going to be Colton Robinson. The 12W started up at the front of this one, falling back outside of a transfer spot. He'll be joined by the 4S of Blake Spicer. And we talk about things on MRP and social media are unofficial. The transponder not registering on the 20Q of Brecken Reese. Second on track, it shows him last in live timing. So again, that's why we emphasize that is unofficial. He is being line scored right now. Officials marking down his position as he gets a good run to the outside. Battle for the lead. The 54 going on the attack. Takes it across the racetrack, but leaves the inside line open, and the 20Q is going to capitalize. Brecken Reese takes over the race lead. Boxell is there to try to take it back. No dice. Good outside, inside run for the 20Q of Brecken Reese to take over the race lead. Boxell trying to get back and undo that mistake. Rides in the second spot. The 67. Jacob Denny right now rides in third. The 87 of Justin Graham running in fourth. The 67K. That's the final transfer spots right now in the hands of Colton Robinson. The 12W of Warren. The 4S of Spicer ran out your field with a wave of the white flag and 1 to go. Top 3 rail the high side. Grant around the bottom of the 4th spot as they make their way into the final turns. Now they'll break rank and look low. Trying for the lead on the final lap. Can't get there. The 20Q going to hold on to it. Jacob Boxell in second. Jacob Denny in third. Justin Grant, Colton Robinson. Those 5 drivers going to move on into the feature event. Good charge to get to the lead, and then good job holding on to it for the driver out of Canyon, Texas. The Sierra Towing and Crushing Dumas Iron and Metal Speedway Total Link chassis number 20Q. Race fans, give him a hand. Brecken Reese. He'll come to a stop down on the front straightaway. That move for the lead as Boxell trying to slide on the defense. Reese setting up off of the top and going opposite of him. Genevieve, that was instrumental.
Yes, impressive from Brecken Reese taking tonight's Indy Power Sports Heat Race 4. Brecken, what were you seeing in turns 3 and 4 to be able to get around Jacob?
Yeah, I knew I just had to go where he wasn't. So we were pretty good on the bottom there, and he kind of took it away from us, and I knew I just had to adjust my line, and car was really good. Can't thank Kyle enough, and now on to the feature.
Brecken Reese taking that Indy Power Sports Heat Race 4 for the evening.
Thank you very much. Good to see Mac Leopard's machine refiring here. The crew able to piece that one back together. They'll take it back to the pit area, go to work. Hopefully we'll see him here in just a little bit in our 5-Star Bodies semi-feature. In the meantime, micro heat races. Next on the card. Heat race number 1 sitting in the staging lanes, 20 drivers in stock non-wing competition on hand here tonight. Don't forget National Open Wheel 600 Series Micros joining us starting tomorrow in Beloit, Kansas for the Chad McDaniel Memorial. They'll be in action with us all the way through Jefferson County. And again, they have 3 nights at Jefferson County if you're looking for an extra night of racing up there. In Fairbury, Nebraska, they split the field up into 2 nights in order to establish their Saturday night program. So again, tomorrow into the state of Kansas, the Chad McDaniel Memorial, Mitchell County Fairgrounds in Beloit, Kansas. Hope you can make the trip and join us there. And then Friday and Saturday, the Midwest Midget Championship. If you're a fan of the small cars, definitely 3 nights of racing you do not want to miss. If you can't be there live, of course, you can find it all right here on FloRacing. And, of course, your FloRacing subscription, all a part of the Flow Sports Network. And what that gets you is way more than just motorsports. Are you a fan of cycling? They've got it. Marching band? You bet. Grappling? They have that too. Basketball, not basketball. Good movie though. Basketball, baseball, and even cheerleading can all be found a part of the Flow Sports Network. And, of course, on the motorsports side, you have things like the Interstate Battery High Limit, Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, All-Star Circuit of Champions, plus major events like the Hyper Racing Tulsa Shootout powered by NOS Energy Drink happening December 29th through January 3rd. And, of course, the Chillable Nationals powered by NOS Energy Drink January 11th through the 16th. The Dome, Snowball Derby, and more can all be found with Flow Racing. Max Pappas Innovations takes every aspect of construction and safety to heart in the most accurate and dedicated way possible. Safety, construction, R&D, it's all paramount to all MPI innovative products, including steering wheels, gloves, and seats. Learn more at maxpappasinc.com. Any Metal Finishing's mission is to support their customers with an exceptional level of quality and service. Any Metal Finishing offers Type 2 and Type 3 anodizing chemical conversions, passivation, and electroless nickel services to motorsports, medical, military, aerospace, and manufacturing industries. Visit them today at anymetalfinishing.com. So I have opening heat for the micros rolling out here in just a moment. Driver from right here in town, Jed Peaster in the 57P, slated for the pole position. Devin Simmons out of Knoxville, Iowa, the 77S, outside row number 1. Gabe Zahner out of Sweet Springs in the 32Z. Trey Schleicher in the 48S, set for row number 2. Haley Ernst out of Colorado in the 11H. Cameron Morrison in the 77 out of Marshall, Missouri. And Robert Albert Ernest out of Warrenton, Missouri in the 6. Slated to round out your field. Again, 4-car inversion out of qualifying. So your quick qualifier for heat race number 1 was the 48S. He goes to the outside of row number 2. Feature set off of heat race lineups straight up by heat race order. So it'll go heat race number 1, winner to the pole, 2 to the outside. Third place will be your winner from heat race number 3. Quick check, make sure all transponders are reading. Three heats of stock non-wing micros. Our 5-star body semi-feature event will come up after this. We'll have our micro feature and end the night out with 40 laps with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship, night number 1 of Mid-America Midget Week. Field set to go to green. Caution lights dark. Heat race number 1 for the micros. Peaster fires to the lead for a moment. Challenge to the outside, though, from the 77 is Simmons. Swings it wide. The 57 down low. It's going to be Jed Peaster holding on to it. Devin Simmons still holding on to the second position. Schleicher and Zahner going at it for the third spot right now. Down to the inside. We'll see who has the advantage here. The 32. Not able to get the run. Zahner holds on to the 4th spot. Schleicher, in the meantime, takes over 3rd. Sitting in 5th, Albert Ernest. And it's going to be Morrison, then Haley Ernst right now running out your running order. Challenge for the second spot. Going to dive deep into 3, brings it wide at turn number 4. Got it. Trey Sliker doing a good job of slicing his way up through the running order again as your quick qualifier had to go to the 4th position, trying to get one more spot and see if he can put it up on the pole. The feature, look out. We got one going Dukes of Hazzard to the infield. Cue the Waylon Jennings. Them old Duke boys landed one there at the exit turn number 4 for the lead. Here comes the 48S. Takes it as deep as possible into turns 3 and 4. Comes around to the front straightaway. Got it. Sliker leads, coming around to the wave of the white flag. Peaster with something to say about it. Jed trying to get there. Works back to the inside through turns 1 and 2. Not able to hang those. They work onto the back straightaway now. Does he have one more in him here as they make their way through turns 3 and 4? Checkered flag going to come out. It will be Trey Sliker getting the job done in 48. Peaster in second, Zahner in third, Simmons and Albert Ernest unofficially running out your top 5. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, your quick qualifiers, your heat race winner in 48. Give him a hand. Trey Sliker gets the job done in 48. Heat race number 2 about to make its way out here out of Norwalk, Iowa. The 38, Brantley Chaden with Tyler Christensen out of Bennington, Nebraska in the 73, slated for row number 1. Brant Woods in the 12 out of Chickasha, Oklahoma. And Quentin Jones from right here in town in the 17 going to line up in 4th. Chevy Boyer out of New Haven, Missouri from 5th in the 11B. The 1 of Dylan Braden out of Oak Grove, Missouri. And Cooper Flynn out of the Sunshine Coast of Queensland, Australia, the 12X. Slated to round out your field. Heat race number 2 for your stock non-wing micros. Field rolls out, caution lights will remain on. We got one slow over in turns 1 and 2. Looks like Flynn in the 12 coming to a stop. One of the sidebinds getting in behind the 12. Looks like the chain may have come off of the rear sprocket the way it's hanging. And that is the case. He is indicating down to the crew that there is an issue on the chain. We'll see if they can possibly manipulate it back on and get him back out onto the racing surface. And looks like they might have been able to get the chain back on. They're going to start to back the car out on the racetrack. And that is going to bring the caution lights back on. So a mixture of other drivers and crew members coming down in order to get to the 12 with Cooper Flynn back on track. And just in the nick of time, as Chaden and Christensen occupy run number 1, Woods and Jones, and run number 2, Boyer and Braden, and run number 3, Flynn at the back of the pack here. They come around to the NOS Energy start can. We're underway. 3 wide for the top spot to kick things off. Here comes the 12 of Brant Woods down to the inside. He's got a good run. Can he get the race lead here on the opening lap? 73 high, the 12 down low. It will be the 12. Brant Woods going to lead. Christensen running in second. Jones now with a run to the inside in 17. He'll take the AFD Graphics entry up into the second spot here. Now patrolling low, looking at your race leader. Problems again for the 12. This time gets it rolling. We stay green. Brant Woods leading. Quinn Jones running in second. Has to wait in the car a little bit that time with Christensen closing back into the 73. He's going to aim to the top of the racetrack. The 17 down to the bottom. Holds on to the Heidelberger Foundation service entry. Brant Woods in the meantime shows the way. Jones skips her off of the inside berm just a little bit there. Christensen trying to come up and take advantage of it. They come to the cross flags. 4 in, 4 to go. Oh, problems continue for the 12. Belching fire from the headers. He slowed over in turns 3 and 4, but gets it back rolling. Cooper Flynn having a rough go of it here in heat race competition. But no quitting him as he brings it out and keeps her back rolling, gets it refired and rolling. They come around to 2 to go. Brant Woods with an impressive start to the inside. Took it 3 wide for the lead. Now the 12 looks like, as much as he wants to keep her going, mechanically she's not able to anymore. The 12 going to pull down to the infield. We avoid the caution. Wave of the white flag, 1 to go. Final stretch for the final time here in heat race number 2 for your stock non-wing micros. Good start results in a great win for Brant Woods in 12. Quinn Jones in second. Tyler Christensen and Brantley Chaden with Chevy Boyer unofficially your top 5. 3 wide for the lead and holds on to it, ladies and gentlemen. Winner in heat race number 2. Give him a hand. Brant Woods in 12. Good drive for the Snyder fiberglass entry. He'll make his way back into the pits and heat race number 3. Going to roll out here in just a moment. Chase Howard of Odessa, Missouri, the 127, and Riley Dawson out of Indianola, Iowa, on the 13M in row number 1. Blake Crooms out of Winter Haven, Florida, in the 13M. Or the 32C, rather, the 75 at Gavin Bolt out of Manhattan, Kansas. Austin Rayburn out of Odessa, Missouri in the 7H, and Tucker Ernst out of Peyton, Colorado in the 22. All set to round out your field. We'll have a little bit of break in the program following this micro heat race. Crew's going to come out and do just a little bit of light touch-up work to the racing surface. Give you a chance to go down and visit the concession stand. Also a chance to go out and visit the USAC merchandise trailer. Get all your 2026 race day must-have gear while your size, color, and design is still available. Driver apparel is also available here just behind the grandstands. Cale Drake has his van down there. You got Jacob Boxell, Cannon McIntosh, and Brandon Carr with their apparel all available. Also down at the USAC merchandise trailer, there is Cale Coons as well as Kevin Thomas Jr. merchandise available down there. I mentioned earlier you can go to shopktj.com. Again, those pre-orders for the Purple Heart Foundation shirts after the massive run on the original inventory. They're taking pre-orders on those, but you can also get those at the USAC merchandise trailer while supplies last. Field set to go to green. Final heat race for the micros. How do you do? Well, How goes to second, and the 13M of Dawson goes up into the race lead here in the opening lap. Tries back down to the inside. Couldn't quite get there. Gavin Bolt. Remember, getting upside down during qualifying earlier. Despite that, was still able to lay down the fastest lap time. Crew getting the car back together. Driver back on track. Had third, falls to fourth. Crooms coming by in the 22 to take over the third spot. Side by side for the lead. Howe to the inside. Dawson to the outside. See who has the advantage this time in the turns 3 and 4. Takes it down across the racetrack. Takes the line away. Brings her wide to the exit. Turn number 4. Still not able to break the momentum of the 127. Blake Crooms, though, with better momentum to the outside. He's going to roll up and take over the second spot here as they work into turns 3 and 4, right in the tire tracks of your leader as they come around to the near side of the speedway. 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. Final heat race for your stock non-wing micros. Again, a win is a starting spot in the top 3 for the feature event. A little bit of a slip up there in the Destiny Homes number 13. Exit turn number 4. Crooms not close enough to capitalize. Sets it up into 3. We'll see if he finds some room to run at a turn at number 4. This time it will be Dawson with a bulletproof line at the exit of the 4th turn. Down to the inside rolls once again. The 32C, he's going to pull up alongside. He'll drive that car in about 5 foot deeper. Comes around inside line to the wave of the white flag with the top spot. Blake Crooms takes over the race lead. Dawson with Howe coming by him now. That car getting a little upset there. A little bit of bumper tag on the back straightaway, but checker flag is out. Blake Crooms in 32. Grabs the heat race win. Howe, Dawson, Bolt, Rayburn, and Ernst unofficially rounding out your field. So your final micro heat race belongs to the driver of the number 32C. Give him a hand, Blake Crooms. Gets the job done with that. We'll do a little bit of work to the racing surface here on the FloRacing broadcast. We're going to step away for a moment. We'll be back to Sweet Springs.
I'm Jacob Oxel, and you're watching USAC on FloRacing.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence. Order online at amsoil.com.
Hey, can I get 4 guavas? No, the big ones. Thanks.
Ignite your taste with new NOS Energy Grand Prix Guava. Buy it now at a store near you.
Something has awakened. The horsepower and torque you always knew was there, just waiting to make every drive thrilling. Track tested, off-road proven, performance for everything you drive. Drive better with K&N.
At Lucas Oil Center, we keep you moving with confidence. We've upgraded everything: faster oil changes, a thorough 21-point inspection, expert AC service, and preventative maintenance that keeps your car road ready. And now enjoy easier access to our signature Nitro Wash, so your ride shines bright all year long.
Looking for great service, a wide variety of Lucas Oil products, and racing oils, or looking for a location near you, contact us at lucasoilcenter.com.
Lucas Oil Center, service that goes the extra mile.
P1 Australia Racing Components, sprint cars, midgets, and micros, specializing in engine heaters, oil heat mats, stainless headers, and black titanium. World headquarters in Indianapolis and also serving New Zealand and Australia. P1 ships daily. Visit our website at p1australia.com. P1 Australia Racing Components. For pricing, info, and more, slide into our Facebook and Instagram.
Go harder, faster, stronger with Rod End Supply. Whether you are running industrial, farming equipment, or a race car, Rod End Supply has the assortment of rod ends, radius rods, and specialty products that will help you lead the field in performance. Our superior design means our rod ends last longer and perform better, giving you the edge on the track and saving you money. Contact Rod End Supply or order online today at rodendsupply.com. We don't just sell them, we race them. rodendsupply.com. Serving the racing community for over 30 years.
Welcome back to the broadcast here on FloRacing. Horn has sounded in the pit area for the drivers to make their way into the staging lanes to get ready to go into our 5-Star Bodies semi-feature event. The new standard of sprint car body technology is here, engineered with optimized airflow for maximum downforce and increased horsepower, and it's available in multiple high-performance material options so every team can build the right body package for their program. Shop now at 5starbodies.com. 10 cars slated to make their way out for the 5-Star Body semi-feature event, 12 laps the distance. Top 4 set to move on into tonight's feature event. Driver slave for the pole behind the wheel of the number 40D comes to you out of Peoria, Arizona. The great company, Rex Road Racing Speedway Toyota Spike entry of Drake Edwards. Lining up in second and 12 will be the driver out of Eaton, Colorado, the Directional Plus MW Mopar, or W9 Mopar rather. Spike chassis number 12W, that will be Caden Warren. The 05 of the third starting spot is Alex Midkiff out of Belleville, Illinois. The BP Fab, the A Stealth Missile Motorsports number 05. Next to him, the Blake Spicer out of Marysville, Kansas. The Spicer Aircraft Velker Stealth chassis number 4S. Lance Bennett inside of your next row out of Aurora, Colorado, driving the Simpson West Evans Motorsports RKO Management number 44X. Next to him, the 21H, that will be Levi Hink out of Sweet Springs, Missouri. The FK Indy Elliott's Custom Trailers and Carts FK Ron and Stanton Triple X chassis number 21H. Shyla Ernst out of Peyton, Colorado, driving the Colorado Mechanical Performance Powder Coating GAM Slinger TCR chassis number 42, set to line up at the 7th spot. From 8th, it'll be the 43M. That will be Zach Merritt out of Greeley, Colorado, driving the Order Racing Coles Appliance Center Fifi Grooming number 43M. The 98K from 9th. Out of Sheffield, United Kingdom, the J. Davis Scrap Metal Bubble 1 Toyota entry of Brandon Carr. And your final starter is scheduled to be Mac Leopard at Beaver Creek, Ohio. The great company, Joe's Landscaping, Rex Road Racing number 40L. As that'll be your scheduled lineup again for your 5-Star Bodies semi-feature event. 12 laps the distance, 4 moving on into tonight's Mid-America Midget Week opening feature event. So cars will start to make their way out onto the speedway. Let's check in with Drake York.
A lot to talk about here in our 5-Star Body semi-feature event with some of the drivers in it. We'll start with Alex Midkiff. He's rolling from 3rd. They had a power steering fitting go bad, so they fired that car 2 times after the heat race is wrapped up. He's good to go here in our semi-feature. Walking down a little bit further down the lineup here of our semi-feature, Levi Hink in the 21H. He'll roll off from 6th. This car has yet to turn a competitive lap here this evening. They've been fighting gremlins underneath the hood of the 21H all day, and I talked to him right before the start of this 5-Star Body semi-feature, and I asked them, well, do you have it fixed? And they said, we think we do. They have literally thrown the kitchen sink at this race car, trying to see if something sticks. We'll see if Levi finally gets some running in here tonight at Sweet Springs. And then on the back row of our 5-Star Body semi-feature, we have Brandon Carr and Mac Leopard. Both of those drivers going to backup cars. That's why they're going to start at the tail end of the field here in the semi-feature. Severe chassis damage to both of their cars. Sustained those damages on their race cars in relatively the same area in turns 3 and 4. And you might notice that the 40L looks awfully familiar. That's because this is the same exact car that won the BC 39 last week at the dirt track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway with Briggs Danner behind the wheel. So we certainly know that's a good piece for Mac Leopard. Also, we wanted to touch on the situation for Kanan McIntosh. If you're just joining us here on FloRacing, he was your winner of K1 Race Gear Heat Race number 1 and immediately shut that car down the exit at turn number 2. Talking to Bo Binder on the crew of the 71K. Apparently, a power steering line was going bad on that car and it was shooting fluid on Kanan. Surprisingly enough, according to Bo, it didn't really affect the steering of Kanan's number 71K machine as he would steal the win late in that heat race from Bradley Cox. But the reason he shut it down so quickly, Kanan didn't realize that it was power steering fluid. He thought it was something like fuel that could ignite at a moment's notice. So just trying to play the safe card and make sure he stopped that car in a hurry, got safety officials over to check him out. So the good news is the 71K also good to go for the feature event later on this evening.
Thank you very much. Field will begin to fire. Front row comprised of the 2 fastest qualifying drivers not locking directly into the feature event, so that puts Drake Edwards and Caden Warren up on the front row. Midkiff, then Spicer, Bennett, then Hink, Ernst, then Merritt, Carr, and Leopard. Again, 12 laps, 4 drivers going to move on. Our stock non-wing feature event will be next on the program. We'll end out the night with our 40-lap feature event with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Field working on getting lined up and ready to go. NOS Energy Indiana Sprint Week presented by K&N Filters will be here before you know it. It all kicks off at the dirt track of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tickets on sale at ims.com. That'll be on July 23rd. Lincoln Park Speedway on July 24th. Kokomo on the 25th. Lawrenceburg on the 26th. Circle City on the 27th. Paragon on the 29th. Terre Haute Action Track and the Don Smith family adding money to the bottom of the purse there. All nights are $10,000 win, but Terre Haute now $1,000 to start. Bloomington the following night. Of course, it wraps up August 1st at Tri-State Speedway in Hopstock, Indiana. A $50,000 point fund, $25,000 of that going to your Sprint Week champion. If you can't be there live, you can find it right here on Flow. Caution lights dark, field ready to go to green. To the NOS Energy start can, we're underway. A little bit of tap of the tires here on the start here as they make their way into turns 1 and 2, 3 wide mid-pack. They'll sort things out and single it out to the front straightaway. Keep an eye to the back of the pack for Mac Leopard trying to fight his way forward. And having to swap machines out here as up front. Drake Edwards going to lead in 40. Midkiff right now running in the second spot. Sitting in third is going to be the 12W of Caden Warren. Battle for the transfer spot. Look to the high side for the 40. Mac Leopard from the back of the pack has fought his way up into a transfer spot, and he's looking for more. Going to set his sights on the 12W of Caden Warren here through turns 1 and 2. Up top and moving right now, and that Chase McDermott Racing number 40L. They'll have the task of reeling in the 05 of Alex Midkiff here as they work through turns 1 and 2. Leader in the meantime onto the back straightway. It continues to be the 40D of Drake Edwards, the driver out of Peoria, Arizona, the great company Rex Road Racing Speedway Toyota Spike entry. Almost at a full straightaway advantage right now for Midkiff in the 05. The 40L and the 12W sit in transfer spots. Outside of that, you got a whale of a battle going. The Eibach number 98 of Brandon Carr having to go to the backup car. The Jay Davis scrap metal entry. Unfortunately, too much damage after getting to the wall earlier. Had a pretty good fight going with the 44 Lance Bennett. Bennett falling back, in fact, losing 2 spots now. The 42 and the 43M both able to make their way by. As your leader has got that thing set on kill right now. Drake Edwards absolutely cruising in the 40. Midkiff still running in second, driving the GSR Dave.com. Smart Machine Tool number 05, the great company number 40L of Mac Leopard. Still riding in the third spot. Challenge for the transfer spot might be brewing here as they come around to 2 to go. The 98 is there, the 12W trying to hold on to it. Warren. Balls are up at the cushion there at the exit, turn number 2. Carr not able to keep pace with them, though, as they work their turns 3 and 4. Has to wait to the cars that come to the wave of the white flag. 1 to go. Leader in the meantime off of turn number 4. This one's in the books for the 40D of Drake Edwards. Drive to the back straightaway for the transfer spot into turns 3 and 4. He slides up across the racetrack. Challenge back down to the inside at the line. The 98's going to have it. Brandon Carr steals away the transfer spot. Coming down to the drop of the checkered flag. So he'll grab fourth. The 40L, Mac Leopard from the back to third. Midkiff in second. And your winner is out of Peoria, Arizona, the great company, Rex Road Racing, Speedway Toyota, Spike number 40D. Race fans, give him a hand, Drake Edwards. So having to get there the hard way, but nevertheless, got there. Both of the McDermott entries, one having a charge from the back, the other one out front cruising. So with that, your stock non-wing feature event. Next on the program. Second time this season that Drake Edwards has topped a 5-star body semi-feature event, the very first one of the season. He becomes the only driver with 2 semi-feature wins on the season so far. So again, your micro feature straight up from your heat race finishes by heat race order. So your 3 heat race winners going to spots 1 through 3. Second place finishers will occupy spots 4 through 6. And here's how they line up. Trace Sliker at Sweet Springs in the 48S on the pole. The 12 of Brent Woods at Chickasha, Oklahoma, make up row number 1. Blake Crooms out of Winter Haven, Florida, the 32C from 3rd. From 4th, it will be Jed Peaster from right here in town. Quentin Jones at Sweet Springs, he lines up in 5th in the 17. The 127 at Chase Howard of Odessa, Missouri from 6th. 7th will be Gabe Zahner out of Sweet Springs in the 32Z. The 73, Tyler Christensen out of Bennington, Nebraska. He'll go from 8th. From 9th, Riley Dawson out of Indianola, Iowa in the 13M. The 77 of Cameron Morrison out of Marshall, Missouri from 10th. 11th starter, Brantley Chaden out of Norwalk, Iowa, the 38. 12th is going to be Gavin Bolt out of Manhattan, Kansas in the VP Fuels number 75. Devin Simmons out of Knoxville, Iowa, the 77S from 13th. From 14, Chevy Boyer out of New Haven, Missouri in the 11B. Austin Rayborn out of Odessa, Missouri in the 7H from 15th. From 16th, Haley Ernst out of Peyton, Colorado in the 11H. The 1 of Dylan Braden out of Oak Grove, Missouri from 17th. From 18th, Tucker Ernst out of Peyton, Colorado in the 22. The 6, Robert Albert Ernest out of Warrenton, Missouri. And Cooper Flynn out of Queensland, Australia in the 12X. Set to round out your lineup here in your stock non-wing feature event. 20 drivers, 25 laps for the micros. Field going to come around this time. Caution lights go dark. Ladies and gentlemen, the drivers of your stock non-wing micro division here at Sweet Springs. If you would, send them off this time. And with that, the caution light's going to have to come back on. We got one stopped on the back straightaway. Looks like safety stop on that machine. Crew going in. And looks like maybe an issue on the radio. They will get it swapped out. And we'll get that driver back rolling here. Believe, let's see, that was the 22. Tucker Ernst the driver that came to a stop at the back straightaway. So now, set to go to green. Officials taking one last look at the lineup, realizing one driver improperly lined, so they will work on getting, I believe, the 77 of Morrison into the correct position. Now the caution lights will stay out. Field coming to green. 25 trips here with your stock non-wing micros. Schleicher and Woods on row number 1 to the NOS Energy start can. We're underway. Field going to take off and roll to the back straightaway. Right now, the advantage for Woods. We saw him with a great run in his heat race, able to fight his way through the field to get up to a win. See if he can run away and hide here in the feature event. He leads lap number 1. Schleicher running in second. Piester right now running in the 3rd spot as they come around to pick off lap number 2. Kroom's running in 4th. With the 127 of Chase Howe right now running out your top 5. He's got challenge coming from the 17. Q going to come after him here in the Heidenbitter Foundation service entry. Down to the inside goes Quinn Jones. Got it around to the front straightaway. So Quinn up into the 5th spot. Howe back to Zick Zahner in 7. Christensen, Bolt, and Dawson, your top 10. Will get one down into the infield. Looks like Albert Ernest in the 6. Unfortunately, that driven performance machine coming to a stop. Oh, we got one spinning, but he keeps it rolling. One of the 77 machines got problems also over in turns 3 and 4. This one's going to bring the caution out. Looked like the 127 of Chase Howe, the driver that had come to a stop over in turn number 4, had been running in the 5th spot. Watch what was going on over turn number 2. Not seeing what happened there. We'll see here on the FloRacing broadcast. Everybody going again, and ooh, a little bit of tag to the back bumper there. Looked like Christensen may have caught the back bumper of the 12. They'll slow the frame rate down, and indeed. Kicks the 12 sideways, and 75 with very little room to try to kind of squeeze through there. So 5 laps completed. Brant Woods so far has been able to kind of run away and set whatever kind of pace he wants so far. He had a 9/10 of a second advantage. Schleicher running in second, Piester running third, Kroom and Quinn Jones. That's your top 5. Zahner in 6th, Christensen in 7th, Simmons in 8th, Bolt in 9th, and Morrison now should round out your top 10. Single file through the NOS Energy start can. Woods picks up the pace in the entrance at turn number 4. We're back underway. Three wide, mid-pack to the back straightaway. Drivers trying to make some moves here on the restart. One of them all the way up to the cushion. The 77. Look like Devin Simmons absolutely going to work on the cushion here. Gavin Bolt's up in that mix. Zahner's in that mix. We got problems over turns 3 and 4 and another problem over in turn number 1. It's like Dylan Braden coming to a stop over in turn number 1. Had a little bit of tussle going on in 3 and 4. They got that one sorted out. So Brant Woods picking up right where he left off. They get another lap in the books. It already brought it out to 0.8 of a second. Third spot changing hands. Was Peaster, now it's Crooms. Quinn Jones continuing to run at your top 5. Zahner, Simmons, Bolt, Christensen, Chaden. All 5 of those spots were up for grabs, and anybody's for the taking there on the restart. We'll see how this sorts out. Chaden back there running at your top 10 in one of the FG development machines. Frank Galusha spinning wrenches on that ride. As we look back front for the 12 of Brant Woods. Brings it back to green. Started outside of row number 1, quickly took over the top spot and immediately pulls away on the restart. Looking all the way back to the July 4th of 2025, Woods has gone to victory lane 5 times here at Sweet Springs, has a dozen top 5s and 14 top 10s. That's in 21 previous visits. His average finish right now coming into tonight is 7th. As 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, all of that is anybody's game right now as they work onto the far side of the racetrack. Here's the challenge for 2nd, Crooms. Working by Schleicher, the 48, swings it wide in the middle of turns 3 and 4, drops a spot here, the 32C. Able to come by and take the position. Now Quinn Jones with the run, but the caution going to take that one away. We've got one around, and it is the 1, opposite end of the racetrack. So last time in turn 1, this time in turn 3. Blake Crooms up to 2nd. Brant Woods running away, and Quinn Jones trying to put on a show for that 3rd spot. Dove to the inside of Schleicher. The 48 saved by the caution. And trying to get the 77 and the 32, the 6th and 7th position drivers properly aligned here. And officials on the receiver letting know the driver of that Big Mama's Cafe, number 32Z, that he needs to go to the 7th spot. And not sure if he's able to hear. Now he'll get in line. He was about on his last chance before he was going to get put to the tail. So Crooms, your 3rd starter, sitting in that 2nd spot, looking at his last 4 visits. Included 9th, a 12th, a 17th, and a 10th. Coming up out of the junior sprint and restricted division. See if he can grab a win here as we go back to green. 10 laps completed. Quinn taking it all the way to the top of 1 and then diving across and pulling the diamond through turns 1 and 2. Takes it all the way to the hub over in turns 3 and 4. 3 wide behind them. Here comes the 32. Old Big Mama's Cafe serving up some hot stuff in the inside line. Zahner putting a good move to get the 5th spot, but Quinn Jones a better move to get the 3rd spot. Works by Schleicher here. The Heinbrider Foundation service number 17. Making it look like I-30 out there, swinging it for the fences and bringing it down across a grab of the moisture at the exit of the 2nd turn. Field going to come around this time to the crossed flags, put 13 in the books. Brant Woods continues to lead Crooms, and here comes Jones. Cue the theme from Jaws. There's blood in the water, and the 17's a swimming. Takes over that 2nd spot. Now the question is, he's got to 2nd. He trails by 1.5 seconds. Does anybody have anything for Brant Woods? Quinn trying to uphold local honor here. Resides just down the road inside the city limits. Loses a 1/10 of a second that time, Woods. making the trip out of Oklahoma. Works the hub at both ends of the racetrack. Quinn is working top to bottom at 1 and 2 and all the way to the inside in 3 and 4 a few times around. That's where he's going to go once again. Crooms running in 3rd, Schleicher running in 4th, Zahner right now running out your top 5, Simmons in 6th, Peaster running in 7th. Move it up to 6, gets by Devin Simmons. Bolt running in 8th, Christensen and Chevy Boyer right now your top 10. Starting to work down into the closing handful of laps here. 18 in, again 25 the distance. And the gap continues to grow, 2.237 seconds. But now, traffic about to be a part of this equation. Leader starting to pull up on the back of the field. And he might not have to deal with traffic at all. The 38 rolling slow to the front straightaway. Caution. Brantley Chaden early on have been up into the top 10, have fallen back to 13th, and now comes to a stop at the front straightaway on that FG development entry. So Brant Woods leads. Quinn Jones runs in 2nd. Quinn, a handful of wins on the season in kart competition back at the start of the year. It's like Cage Predator as well as Predator Maxis and Hoosier. That was in Emma, Missouri at the Emma Indoor Raceway back on January 10th and February 28th. Single file to the NOS Energy start can, 19 laps completed. Again, 25 the distance. Onto the back straightaway, challenge for 2nd. Crooms had it back for just a moment. Quinn Jones retakes it. 5 to go for Brant Woods. Last trip to Victory Lane down at I-44 Speedway in Oklahoma City was all the way back on June 6th. Went up to US 24 for the big dance. Walked away with a 2nd place finish. Last outing at Southern Illinois Raceway with a 5th place run. So he's had good speed, but trying to get back to Victory Lane as they continue to battle it out for the 2nd spot. Crooms and Jones slide for slide, back and forth. Advantage once again to Quinn. 2 more times around. White flag coming this time. Brant Woods going to come around with 1 to go. One car, a little sideways, gets it back underneath him. That was the 32. We avoid the caution, but through turns 3 and 4, checkered flag is going to fly, and Brant Woods adds another one to the win column here in 2026. He'll win with your stock non-wing micros. Quinn Jones in 2nd, Blake Crooms, Trey Schleicher, and Gavin Bolt. Unofficially your top 5. Overall on the season, victory number 10. For the driver at Chickasha, Oklahoma, he pilots the number 12. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a hand. Brant Woods, your winner here tonight is stock non-wing competition. Rolls it down into the Community Bank victory lane. And he'll come up top. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Brant Woods. Puts the wins up into double digits. As he'll get out of the car, work on getting the safety equipment off. And the hugs and congratulations all around. The driver of the Snyder Fiberglass, number 12. Genevieve, quite the run for your winner tonight.
And it's no surprise Brant Woods winning here multiple times at this track just recently in May. What clicked so well for yourself here at Sweet Springs?
Yeah, I think it's just Frank has a lot of experience here, so he knows how to make a car roll around here. It makes it easy on me, so I just got to go out there and do my part. We got a lot of great guys behind us, P&M Machines, CSI Shocks, Kaiser Wheels, Engler Machine and Tool, Vantec Dyno Services, just everybody that helps out this, Jaguar Manufacturing. I got to thank Graham for pulling an all-nighter with me last night to go get this engine fixed, and thank you for Mikey waking up early and working hard on this thing and putting it in today. So I just can't thank all my guys enough.
Tonight's non-wing micro winner, Brant Woods.
Thank you very much. Horn has sounded down into the pit area, so that indicates to the teams that they need to be making their way into the staging lanes. So October 24th here in Sweet Springs, and who's been coming here long enough that you knew this place as Parkside Raceway? Before it was Sweet Springs, Racers Reunion in October. A little fun event you can attend here. Event we talked about earlier, Scotty Cook's Wheelman Classic. And again, that event is not being televised. It's not going to be on a broadcast. You have to be here if you want to check it out. That is on Monday, August 3rd. Factory 14 National Open Wheel 600 Series Micros will be on hand. Junior Sprint Restricted A-Class and Non-Wing. It's all presented by Rod End Supply, but mark it on the calendar, Monday, August 3rd, right here at Sweet Springs. And, of course, tomorrow we head to the state of Kansas, Mitchell County Fairgrounds for the Chad McDaniel Memorial, the 15th running. Chance to honor a great driver, a great friend, and a great winner. Coming up tomorrow, Thursday, we hit the road and we head up to Nebraska. Fairbury, to be exact. Jefferson County for 2 nights of racing action. Final night, a 10,000 win feature event for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Of course, you can find information on each one of those events when you go online to USACRacing.com. You can click on each individual schedule. For the National Touring Series, Silver Crown, Sprint Car, and Midgets, the combined schedule. And, of course, you'll also find information on our CRA, our MRA, East Coast Sprints, Western States Midgets, Midwest Thunder Speed 2 Midgets, and Southwest Sprints, as well as the NASCAR Youth Series. You can find information on each one of those divisions, again, when you go online to USACRacing.com. Tonight's feature event, 40 laps in distance, a $5,000 check to the winner. It is round 10 of the 2026 campaign, and your lineup set to roll to the green like this. On the pole tonight, he comes to you out of Mooresville, North Carolina. Driving the Radical Brake Company, Bunny Belt, Spike, the Joy of Seating, at Walker Filtration, number 19M, it'll be Ethan Mitchell. To his outside, Indiana Midget Week winner during Circle City, Silver Crown winner in Hutchinson back in May. Out of Gilbert, Arizona, the AMA Electrical, Jugo Superfoods, Reinbold Development Incorporated, number 19 AZ, Hayden Reinbold. 1 year ago, he stood in victory lane here at the start of Mid-America Midget Week. He goes from third tonight at the Bixby, Oklahoma, driving the Mobile 1 TRD Curb Records Toyota number 71K. It'll be Cannon McIntosh. And from fourth, out of Titusville, Florida, the Precise Tooling Solutions TRD Mobile 1 Curb Records link number 67K of Colton Robinson. From the fifth starting spot, he hails out of Coleman, Alabama, driving the Purple Heart Foundation Metalloid 1 Acrosil 4 Kings Racing number 14. It'll be Kevin Thomas Jr. And running out your top 6 starters out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, driving the Sound Gear Toyota Racing Development Mobile 1 KKM Carbagagenia number 97. That is Gavin Miller. Inside of row number 4, it'll be Riley Chrysler of Warsaw, Missouri, the International Manufacturing Supply, Truman Lake Marine and Power Sport number 19K. And next to him, you'll find the driver out of Canyon, Texas, the Sierra Towing and Crushing, Dumas Iron and Metal Speedway Total Link Chassis number 20Q of Brecken Reese. Ninth starting spot in 27 comes to you out of Kennedale, Texas. Driver the Joyner Motorsports, Rush Race Gear, G Hood Construction, TJ Ford, Spike EA Stealth number 27X. It'll be Kyle Jones. Next to him in 40, it'll be Drake Edwards out of Peoria, Arizona, the great company Rex Road Racing Speedway Toyota Spike number 40D. Justin Grant from 11th out of Ione, California, driver the NOS Energy Drink, PristineAuction.com, Mobile 1 Toyota Racing Development number 87. And outside of him, the 27 of Garrett Benson out of Concordia, Missouri, the 360 Civil KNC Drywall SR11X Powered Spike Chassis number 27B. Next row from the inside, the 98. Driver coming to you out of Sheffield, England, driver the J. Davidson Scrap Metal, Mobile 1 Toyota number 98K. It's going to be Brandon Carr. He'll go from 13th. From 14th, Cale Drake out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, driver the RMS EnviroFab Guest Performance Rush Race Gear number 4. Jacob Denny rolls from the inside of your 8th row at Galloway, Ohio, the JBL Audio TRD Mobile 1 Toyota number 67. Next to him, the 40L. That's Mac Leopard at Beaver Creek, Ohio, the great company Joe's Landscaping Speedway Spike number 40. 9th row from the inside line, the 19X of Aiden Schmidt at Hopstock, Indiana, driver the Westside Automation Stanton Spike number 19. And next to him, Bradley Cox. Cox out of Black Forest, Colorado, driver the Redline Performance Roofing Stanton Powered Link Chassis REM Motorsports number 45. Andrew Felker, he will roll from 19th tonight in the car out of Carl Junction, Missouri, driving the Smith Equipment Company Panel Chipping SR11 Link Chassis number 11A. And outside of him, Jacob Boxell at Zanesville, Indiana, the Metalloid 1 Performance Products 4 Kings Racing Stanton Link Chassis number 54. Out of Collinsville, Oklahoma, that's Matt Sherrill, driving the 212 MD Motorsports, Esslinger Powered Spike, Melton Motorsports, Express Car Wash of Texas, number 21 AJ. And next to him is going to be Brandon Work at Lincoln, Missouri, driving the Como Vive, Steve's Guttering, Fontana Ripper Chassis, number 44. Final row from the inside line, it'll be Tom McVeigh at Green Valley, Missouri, the hair designed by Erica, number 89. And your final starter comes to you out of Belleville, Illinois, making his first career USAC National Midget start here at Sweet Springs. Driver the BP Fab GSR EA Stealth Missile number 05, that is Alex Midkiff. As that'll be your scheduled lineup for tonight's feature event for the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship on round 1 of Mid-America Midget Week. Let's check in with Drake.
Thank you so much, Brian. It is that time. It is time for our Dirt Draft 1 to watch here this evening at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. Before we get into that, remember there still is time to play in the Rookie League lobby with our friends at Dirt Draft. Now into our Dirt Draft 1 to watch. I'm keeping my eye on the driver rolling from the outside of the second row. That is the 67K of Colton Robinson. He get off to a great start earlier today in Learn Lab qualifying to go 4th on the field, and he did exactly what he needed to do in his heat race, albeit cutting it a little bit close for the transfer spot. He starts 6th, finished 5th to lock himself in to tonight's feature event and that good starting spot he has here at 4th position tonight. Colton Robinson still very early in his development as a professional race car driver, especially on the trail here with the USAC National Midget Championship. In 2 years now, he only has 3 top 10s, the best of those 3 coming earlier this year at the Bloomington Speedway during Indiana Midget Week. But I talked about all the things he's done right so far tonight. He's going to start 4th. That's 3 spots better than his career best finish already. And I was talking to Colton earlier. I said, how do you approach this race? He says, I don't know. I'm just going to send it. And if that isn't what midget racing is all about, just going out there and sending it as hard as you can, I think we're in for a treat with Colton Robinson. Maybe not a driver I'm expecting to win the race, but maybe to earn a career best finish tonight here at Sweet Springs. He rolls for 4th.
The 1-lap track record remains untouched. The 10-lap track record remains untouched, but the 12-lap track record destroyed by 8 seconds. Jakes Park had set that record in 2022. Drake Edwards bettering it by 8 seconds in your 5-star body semi-feature event. Toyota Racing Development pace truck brings the field to the front straightaway. Officials working on getting everybody in their proper starting position. A couple of drivers towards the back. Getting lined up. So everybody into their proper starting position. Field going to roll to the front straightaway. And from side by side, they break rank to 4 wide. Ladies and gentlemen, our drivers, thank you. Their salute for coming out to enjoy tonight's racing action as they make their way around to the back straightaway. Race fans, light up them cell phones and rise to your feet. It's time to make some noise for the cars and mighty driving stars of the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. Driver coming to a stop over in turn number 3. That is Bradley Cox in the 45. Driver slated to go from the 11th, or rather the 18th starting spot. So something going awry before the drop of the green flag. That will send the 45 back into the Indy middle finishing work area. Nine events so far. Justin Grant, the only multi-time winner at 3 so far this season. Denny, Reinbold, Sarp, Seavey, KTJ, and Danner. Round 10, just about ready to go to green. Can we add another name to the list here tonight? So wait to see if the 45 makes the trip back around to the entrance of the speedway. Sounds like that will be the case, and there he is coming down the hill. So Bradley going to make his way. No, he's going to go ahead and make the right-hand turn. Something still not right on the number 45. So unfortunately, his night going to come to a close before it gets going. He did present. So he'll be a DNF on the field here tonight. Toyota Racing Development pace truck down into the infield. Round 1 of Mid-America Midget Week set to kick off. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time to sit back, relax, and enjoy 40 trips around the Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex because race fans, this is what you save your lunch money for. To the green here in the Show Me State. Field off and running. Lil Bunny going to jump out to the early advantage. Question is, can he hold on to it for 40 revolutions? KKM Kerbagajanian going to battle it out for the second spot on the high side. Last year's winner going to have it in 71. Gannon McIntosh quickly takes over the second spot. Colton Robinson running in third. Kevin Thomas Jr. rides in fourth down to the inside. He's going to grab one for third. So KTJ, just like we saw at the dirt track at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, patiently around the bottom, trying to pick his way forward. Right now runs in the third spot. Challenge for the race lead. Cannon up top, fires onto the front straightaway. Ethan Mitchell going to fend him off for the time being. Still a good battle going on for the third position. Now Robinson going to retake it. KTJ back to fourth with Reinbold following in the fifth position. Still working to the top side. He's got a good run to the front straightaway. He's got the lead. Cannon McIntosh takes over as they complete lap number 4. McIntosh to the lead. Mitchell in second. Robinson in third. Reinbold coming up to try to take over the fourth spot. Gavin Thomas and the Purple Heart Foundation, 4 Kings over 14 around the inside, get a fall to 5th. Behind him, the 97 of Gavin Miller. Side by side from about 5th on back to the midpoint of the field here. As Mitchell continues to hold on to 2nd. Colton Robinson has looked to the inside, he's looked to the outside, he rolls right to the middle this time at the exit to number 4. Everybody keeping pace though with your leader, Cannon McIntosh. His advantage, 0.4 of a second. Now it's Carlings as they work into turns 3 and 4. Robinson on the outside, had the runner-up spot for a moment, secures it around to the front straightaway. Ethan Mitchell falls to 3rd. Kevin Thomas still running at 4th. Hayden Reinbold in 5th. Had snuck up to 4th for about a breath now as here comes the 97, the sound gear entry to the inside, hangs the Hoosiers down the front straightaway. Kevin Thomas off of the bottom and up to the top, and he's going to get held up for a moment. Thank you very much. The 97 going to sneak by on the inside. So Gavin Miller tussles his way up into the 4th spot. Now here comes the RMS and Viral Fan, number 4, Cale Drake, 3 wide to the back straightaway. From 3rd on back, they're not under a blanket, they're under a cocktail napkin right now. That battle is close, it's intense, and it is ongoing. As Gavin Miller takes over the 3rd spot, Mitchell sideways in the 19, gets it back underneath him. Kevin Thomas there to try to capitalize. The 14 goes to work along with the 4, a little bit lower to the inside, side by side to the front straightaway. Cale Drake takes over 4th on the backstretch. Gets a 2-for-1 deal to the backside of the raceway. The 19, a little bit of a bunny hop at the exit to number 2. Can't get forward bite when you're airborne now. Oh, Reinbold, huge misstep at the exit to number 4. That car shot to the wall, shot back to the infield, finally shot back forward, but he loses all kinds of spots here trying to scramble his way to the bottom side of the racetrack. My, oh my, what a hit in his running order. Takes it all the way back to 12th. As up front, challenge for the race lead, working on the high side as he had a slower car bouncing on the cushion. Colton Robinson going to take over in 67. Watching the chaos through the field, and in the meantime, Colton Robinson mounting a charge here. He's got a micro win earlier this year down in Marion County in Florida back in February. In 9 starts this season, he's been in the top 10 one time. Can he pull off a win for the first time at the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship? 17 laps in the books. He's still got a little over half of the race to get it done. And Cannon McIntosh isn't going to let him get it that easy. Here he comes with the slide jobs. Lap car right there. Look out. The West Side Automation number 19 of Aiden Schmidt gets the car back underneath him. But Cannon McIntosh retakes it. The 67K is there. And now here comes the 97 of Gavin Miller. 12th place finish last year for Miller. A best of 6 in USAC national competition. Runs in 3rd. Robinson holds on to 2nd. Cale Drake now. Winner back here in May of 2025. An extreme victory back in 2024. Fighting his way forward. Lacey Doyle and Janky Bobby turning wrenches on that car tonight. A little bit of a misstep at the start of the night now has Kevin Thomas Jr. back on his back bumper. In the meantime, battle for the lead. Here we go again. Cannon McIntosh has it. The 67K looking to get it back. Had a taste of the top spot. Boy, he wants more here. Cannon McIntosh wanting to hoard it all for himself, though, as they work to the high side of turns 3 and 4. Nearly 3 wide. The 97 down to the bottom. Tries to get a 2-for-1. Couldn't get it. The sound gear, number 97 of Gavin Miller right there. On the Precise Tooling Solution, number 67K. Robinson with a hop, skip, and a jump in 3 and 4. That's going to cost him. Back to bronze and up to silver goes Gavin Miller. Comes after the 71K. Cannon McIntosh onto the far side of the racetrack. Both drivers now vacating the top and going down to the bottom. The 97 a little bit lower, shows him where the hub is, and he's going to have it. Gavin Miller comes around to lead as they click off lap number 25. Cannon McIntosh, he's been in this position once already tonight. Had to fight back and get the top spot. Last time it was the 67K. This time it's Gavin Miller, and Miller just put the afterburners onto the front straightaway. Absolutely gapped the Mobile 1 number 71K. Pass for the 3rd spot. Now Cale Drake has it down the back straightaway. Cale Drake up into 3rd. Colton Robinson back to 4th. Kevin Thomas Jr. trying to hold on to 5th. Jacob Denny has something to say about that. He takes it down the front straightaway by 0.052 seconds at the line. Now secures it onto the back straightaway and through turns 3 and 4. Kevin Thomas Jr. back to 6th. Ethan Mitchell, Justin Grant battling it out for 7th. Grant going to have that spot now. Mitchell back to 8th. Drake Edwards and Riley Kreisel currently rounding out your top 10. Into traffic, and so far has not been slowed one bit. Gavin Miller, 9/10 of a second last time around. That time does have to whoa out just a little bit. That allows Cannon McIntosh to make up several car lengths, brings it down to a half a second. One of their teammates sitting right between them right now. Brandon Carr's number 98, going to go high through 3 and 4. Clears the lane to the inside. Cannon not able to get by yet. Pair of slower cars directly ahead. One of them is the 11 of Felker. The other one looks like Matt Sherrill. See who goes to the top to try to get a run. Everybody around the bottom. 1, 2, 3. Cale Drake with a huge wheel stand down the front straightaway, trying to close in. Here comes Cannon back to the high side. Letting the right rear eat through 1 and 2. Where does he go into 3 and 4? Goes to the top of 3, bottom of 4. Picking his way by slower cars. Leader likewise, Gavin Miller. 33 laps in. Has cleared the 11, now goes to work on the 21 through turns 3 and 4. Everybody again back down to the hub of the speedway. Miller in the 97, started 6. Fights his way to the front. Cannon McIntosh now having to go where he's not, see if he can make something happen. As we have 5 laps to go, Cannon trying to get wound up on the cushion. Drops back down to the bottom over in turns 3 and 4. Looks like the high side and 1 and 2. Goes to the inside. Contact, tire to tire. Exit turn number 4. Lets Gavin know he's there. Cannon hooks that inside berm. Gets the car upset. You've got 3 KKM Curvagajanian cars running 1st, 2nd, and 4th right now. Here comes the 67 of Jacob Denny. You've got RMS Motorsports caught in the middle of it. Cale Drake tries for 2nd. Couldn't get there. Cannon slams the door on him as they work into turns 3 and 4. Coming around, 2 to go. White flag coming next time. It is absolute chaos at the front of the field as Cannon goes wide. Cale Drake down to the bottom. Here comes the 67 trying to thread the needle in traffic. Couldn't get there. Makes a little contact to the back of the 4. White flag, no caution. We got one stopped as Justin Grant. Absolute chaos in traffic at the front of the field. Cannon. Close, but not quite to retake it. Gavin fending off every challenge. Cale Drake, in the meantime, trying to muscle his way up into the lead. Holds on to 3rd. Jacob Denny in 4th. Colton Robinson, who led the way early, finds himself in 5th. Kevin Thomas Jr. in 6th. Grant was running in 7th. That'll be Ethan Mitchell now. Drake Edwards in 8th. Riley Kreisel in 9th. And Brecken Reese should round out your top 10. Cale Drake and Jacob Denny both right now in contention for Rod and Supply Hard Charger of the night. They've advanced 11 positions. Drake from 14th, Denny from 15th. And Justin Grant is not happy with the 05 of Midkiff, as he'll force him down into the infield. Caution light's going to go dark. Real quick, a look at the points coming into tonight. Kevin Thomas Jr. The top of the standings, Jacob Denny, Justin Grant. This could be a major hit for him. Cale Drake, Jacob Boxell, Weigel, Miller, Setzer, not here. Seavey, as we get ready to go back to green. Single file through the NOS Energy start can. 2-lap dash and must in green, white checkered. Gavin brings it back to green. Cannon going to go to the top here on the restart. Couldn't get the run to the back straightaway. Where is he going to 3 and 4? He's going to go top side. Hooks are onto the cushion, round to the front straightaway. The Sound Gear 97 hangs the Hoosiers. Good fight. White flag. Final trip to the back straightaway. Cannon McIntosh to the high side. Has it. Can he take the line away? Yes. Contact to the left side. Cannon's up the racetrack. Gavin Miller to his inside. Miller's going to hold on for the win. Cannon McIntosh tried to slam the door, but couldn't get it latched, and Gavin Miller kicks the hinges off and holds on for the win. McIntosh in second, Denny, Drake, Mitchell, your top 5. Colton Robinson, Kevin Thomas Jr., Drake Edwards, Riley Kreisel, and Brecken Reese unofficially your top 10. In his 5th feature appearance here at Sweet Springs with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship. His best career finish here had been a 6th place run. Well, mark that one off and make it a win. Ladies and gentlemen, Gavin Miller wins in Sweet Springs. Cannon working the top. Got there, tried to get to the bottom, could not get the door slammed fast enough, and Gavin Miller gets the win. McIntosh in second, Jacob Denny, KKM, Kerr-Bagajanian, 1, 2, 3. Cale Drake with RMS doing a great job at 4th. Ethan Mitchell fighting back to a top 5 in the closing laps. As he'll come around. And Drake, even when you're teammates, there's no give.
No, there certainly wasn't there at the very end of that one. G. Millie, Gavin Miller parks it in victory lane for the first time in 2026. It didn't come without a few theatrics at the end. Take us through that final lap.
Yeah, I knew we were good on the long run. I was trying not to make that same mistake that I made there on the start there, and then going through 1 and 2, there was a little bit of a hole, and I got tight, and it, I kind of got stuck down there for a second. So I didn't even realize he was the outside of me for a minute until he, came down, and then, going for the lead, I got to do something. So, I'm thankful to be in this position. The car was great. I think we figured out some things tonight. So, I just like to thank my my whole crew, Bo, Phil, or not Phil, sorry about that, Dylan, I'm so used to saying the same thing. Dylan, Spencer, just everybody, a whole group effort there. So, I just got to thank everyone for coming out tonight. It was an awesome race there, and looking forward for the rest of the week.
I know that's a team car there between you and Cannon. Do you feel like that move on your end was fair play in the final corner of the final lap?
Yeah, just, got to do what I got to do. And I knew we were going to be very close there, him having a similar car to me. So, I'm just glad to pick that one up, and after a hard-fought race. So, some of my words a little bit. But, I'm just glad to be here and thankful to be in this position.
Gavin Miller with his first win on the 2026 season with the USAC NOS Energy Drink Midget National Championship, and it comes in wild fashion here at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. Let's get it over to Genevieve Malone.
Gavin Miller's teammate Cannon McIntosh finishing second. Now a chaotic restart. Take us through what transpired to turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what I was going to do on the restart. I knew if I drove it hard enough and carried enough speed that we could get it back, and that was probably the only point of the race I knew where to go. And just went to the top and pounded as hard as I could and got the run, got by him, and I mean, I knew I was going to protect the lane. From there, you either let him bump and run, or you stick the line. It's just, I don't think there was anything I could do there. We were going to get moved either way. It's just is what it is. But thankful for this KKM crew. Bo worked really hard all night to make adjustments and give us the best car we could have. And Dylan, Spencer, just everybody that's working hard. Just thankful to be driving this race car. Thankful for Mobile One, Toyota, Pete, Keith, just everyone that makes this happen. And got to thank the Lord above for allowing me to do this.
Similar to our USAC Silver Crown Series, teammates battling it out, and Cannon McIntosh finishing in second.
Yeah, as Brian alluded to earlier, Genevieve, a full podium lockout for Keith Coons, Curb Agajane, rounded out by Jacob Denny, third for the second race in a row. And also your Rod and Supply hard charger this evening, 14th to third. And, of course, Gavin and Cannon got into it in the final corner there, racing hard for the win. Coming to the checker, did you think you had a shot at that one?
Yeah, I saw them get real close, and I just kind of put my foot to the floor up top and prayed I made it through the corner, and the exit off of 4 is just so good. They just launched as soon as I got to the center. So a good run, though. I got to thank Caleb, Tanner, and Grant. They've been busting their tails. We're back to where we know we can be, and just got to start a little bit farther forward here the rest of the week.
Jacob Denny, once again, your Rod and Supply hard charger and third place finisher here tonight at Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex. Once again, that charge 14th to third on the evening. Of course, he rounds out the full podium lockout for KKM. Once again, Jacob Denny in third, Cannon McIntosh in second, and your winner here for night number 1 of Mid-America Midweek, G-Millie, Gavin Miller.
Thank you very much, Gavin Miller in victory lane. Cannon McIntosh, Jacob Denny, your top 3. And again, Denny reiterating your Rod and Supply hard charge, an extra $150 to that team. Cale Drake in 4th, Ethan Mitchell in 5th, Colton Robinson in 6th, Kevin Thomas Jr. in 7th, Drake Edwards in 8th, Riley Kreisel in 9th, Brecken Reese in 10th, Jacob Boxell unofficially in 11th, Kyle Jones in 12th, Mac Leopard in 13th, Matt Sherrill in 14th, Justin Grant in 15th, Andrew Felker in 16th, Garrett Benson in 17th, Brandon Carr in 18th, Alex Midkiff in 19th, Aiden Schmidt in 20th, Brandon Gework, Todd McVeigh, Hayden Reinbold, and Bradley Cox unofficially rounding out your field. As that'll wrap it up on night number 1 of Mid-America Midweek, where Gavin Miller collects the $5,000 check and kicks off 4 nights of racing action with victory. Until tomorrow when we head to Beloit, Kansas and the Chad McDaniel Memorial, we hope you can be there live. If not, you can see it live right here on FloRacing. On behalf of the entire crew of the United States Auto Club, Sweet Springs Motorsports Complex, and the crew with Studio 56, my name is Brian Holmer saying good night, good luck, and God bless.